Welcome back to Manila for the Manila Major. Our first day is coming to an end, but we do have one more series for you. It is the final game in Group B to decide who goes to the upper bracket and who will have to fight off in that dastardly, deathly lower bracket of the main event. And joining us is Mr. Capitalist and Black joining us with Nahaz once more returning. How you doing, guys? You all right? Everything
Dastardly,
okay?
what
Dastardly
was
and deathly lower bracket. I hate that lower bracket. Best of ones, lower bracket for the first round.
that? That is true.
Oh, great for us. We love it.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
but
yeah.
I was just kind of playing the player role for a little bit, trying to rewind 10 years to when I actually played the games and was maybe a bit good. No, let's not go
Come
there.
on, Paul. Let's be real.
Let's not stretch it
10
too far.
years?
Yeah,
You want to put an extra 0 in there somewhere?
It was black and white when we played. It's fine.
There are
How you
old
doing?
jokes
Enjoying it?
being made, and I am not the target of them. I'm very happy.
It's
about
okay.
this.
You're younger than me, Nahaz.
I know it.
Even though Reddit would have you believe that's the other way around.
I mean, it's fine. Both of you could have been professional Pong players at one point in time.
Yeah.
So
That's what you're coming at us with? Really?
Yeah, no, I could. Yeah, I could. Probably could have been. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, just about.
I wasn't joking. I was being serious.
You know, there was a Space Invaders World Championships in 1980, and they played on black and white TVs. I'm not even joking. I didn't plan it, obviously. I didn't qualify.
I was 10 years from being born then.
Anyway, how you doing?
I am doing
You good?
great.
Looking forward to the last game of the night?
That last series was something else.
It was,
I don't
wasn't
know.
it? Yeah, okay. And I think we're going to get more of the same here, Alan, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we are, and I am actually incredibly pumped for these drafts. DC, toward the beginning of the Manila qualifiers, had a stretch of 5 games where they picked 23 different heroes. Wings, in their first 5 games today, picked 22 different heroes. You just have no idea what's going to happen in these drafts, and these two teams are capable of playing so many lineups well.
Yeah. We're on the first day, but there are only 43 heroes that haven't been picked yet. How
Compendiums.
insane is that? How insane is that?
Hold up. Maybe you guys misunderstood me when I said that game was something else. I didn't mean it in a positive way. Let's not be like, we'll see more of that next. I meant that in the worst possible way.
I meant in the sense that, it's exciting to watch at least. I mean, it wasn't great if you're a Secret fan, I admit, and it wasn't.
I don't think it was great if you're a Wings fan
Not
either.
particularly high level if you're a Wings fan either.
I've never seen Wisp draw first pick win, like, ever. I have no idea.
I have.
Hey, I was telling guys.
I mean, yeah, me too right now.
Yeah. That's the first time, right?
That's like a slap in the face. It's like 1-2 draw ranger. It's like you are so bad.
It's like
you have 3 picks to counter draw ranger. You can't do it.
It's like
we're
not
taking
making
you
your
out
last
right now.
ban. It's like not making your last ban.
It's like that.
The first
I don't
game.
even
Yeah,
know,
first
man.
game. No, we don't need a 5th ban. We've got this anyway, guys. Disrupt the last pick. No ban. Thanks. GG. We can expect more of the same from Wings, more just Wings things. But DC have already won this game before, so this often happens. We get to this part of the tournament, and the team plays the team they've played already, and they end up losing after they've beaten the first time. Why does that happen, Alan? Statistically speaking, why does it happen?
Statistically, it has nothing to do with statistics. No, it has to. PPD has been on record saying this a number of times. You can't. It's very, very hard to beat a team in Dota the same way twice, and that's why EG for so many years has been so good in best of 3 and best of 5s. That's why they've been better in the losers bracket than they have been in the winners bracket, and that's why at a tournament like this with so many good teams, it's just very hard to beat a team twice.
So how do they do it, Black? Unlock the secrets of DC.
I mean, honestly, beating a team twice is like, I feel if you meet again, the pressure is always on the winning team, because like the other team knows how you want to play, they can adapt properly, and it will be up to you whether you can adapt to their adaptation or not, and we'll just see how that goes.
It's often said in Dota Cap that you learn more by losing. Is that partly to do with the fact that you can then come back and beat a team?
I mean, it didn't really seem like it when Wings played that game against Secret.
Yeah,
like
what did they lose?
Seemed like
What
they
did they
forgot
learn?
a few things. It seemed like, especially that game 1, it seemed like they beat Secret, and then somehow that close quarter combat, they somehow absorbed some of Secret's suckiness or something. I don't know.
You are a flamer.
My thing is, I backed Wings. I backed Wings. I know most of us did. I thought Wings was going to be pretty good team here at this tournament, but you can never really tell. Again, I'm just disappointed. All right,
Not mad.
Not again.
Like they just looked really bad against
I mean,
Secret.
they're really unpredictable, right? That's what we said. Like, we don't know whether they're gonna like crush you or like play pretty poorly. Like, we just don't know.
The good news is the draft has begun, and it won't be IO Drow.
Okay.
Okay? Just putting that out there right now. Because we've already had the ban, thankfully, in some ways.
Yeah.
Alan's kind of undecided. He's like, I
It's
don't
gonna
mind.
be-
That would have been
I should've
okay.
said
I'd
it
like to
out
see it
loud.
again.
I should have said it out loud. So we're going to have Doom and Enchantress. It's just, but they are going to go back to the first phase side. So this is the combo that they actually got punished for,
Yes.
right, in that second game. But I still really like, and DC is going to, oh man, this is one of the more solid opens, I think, in Dota right now, right up there with Lifesteal Alliance. It's an open that primarily has been used by the Chinese teams, but DC really taking a page out of teams from all regions with the variety that they played. I like this Lifesteal Doom open quite a lot.
I mean, Doom counters both
Exactly.
Eng and Tide, and so does Lifestealer, so there's actually no problem so far at all.
Lifestealer is just one of those really strong meta heroes that have popped up in the last month. You watch pubs from Europe, you watch pubs from even North America, China. It's popping up kind of everywhere.
His win rate is insane too.
rough.
I think in every bracket it's like what? 50?
No, he's
50 plus?
he's the highest win rate right now in 5K plus pubs at
Yeah.
56%. Somebody finally came along and displaced Omni Knight, who had ruled forever.
Yeah.
But he's 57, almost 57% right now. And it's funny because people, when they were talking about lifesteal in this patch, focused on the nerf to infest level 1, when in fact in the background his strength gain got buffed.
Yeah.
I mean, the hero definitely, in my opinion, got a net buff.
Yeah, and I would say that a lot of the 1-2 options for Lifestealer come from the fact that he's very versatile style of hero. He can be very aggressive in the 15-20 minute marker, but we're also seeing a lot of adaptions where Lifestealer is actually not going the full Echo Saber, Armlet, SNY. It's not necessary. A Desolator, those are all kind of mid-game-ish items. We're actually seeing some Lifestealers go for later game items, and they're still a huge threat as a late game carry.
We said in the previous game when they played the Enchantress Tide that they probably wanted the DK.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they have got the DK this time. Is
I
that
am-
not a mistake from DC, do you think?
I don't know about a mistake. I feel like it's really good against Lifestealer.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a melee hero mid, if you look at how melee heroes have done mid the last couple of patches, DK is just incredibly hard to punish for a melee hero mid right now. I mean, I've seen him stand in lane against a Viper which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, but what DC really likes is an Alchemist middle, and Alchemist middle against DK for me always completely free farms.
Yeah.
And if Alchemist actually gets that early armlet up, those three heroes really can't threaten him at all.
Yeah, but remember they had a really rough game against Wings Wheeze Alchemist earlier today.
Yeah, they did.
I agree with you though. That's a good option.
I hope they're not shaken by it because I think right now it's a really good pick.
In 1-3, you could say that you could have easily picked up Puck Lifestealer against a Drow Ranger strategy and been able to just demolish that kind of strat rather easily. But at the same time, you've seen Wings, they don't really care sometimes what you're drafting, so they'd probably just go for it anyway. In that case, maybe Digital Chaos are more scared of what Wings like to be able to run themselves rather than trying to actually counter it.
But see, this is what you get. I would have actually given what we have on the table right now as Digital Chaos, I would have much preferred to face a Drow lineup where you've got Lifestealers tanky, you're going to have a lot of initiation options with the last couple of picks, and now you're going to have to face a Weaver when your lockdown right now, other than the Doom, it's not great.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
What do they need right now? They need a mid with lockdown, which would be
Puck.
either
gotta be-
Puck,
yeah.
Puck.
You can't,
Storm is not that good.
Weeha maybe plays a good enough Invoker that you can get away with that, but
It's really greedy.
okay, and they're going to go with the Silence instead, which is it's not a bad solution.
Just want to throw this in there because Nox has sent me a little message. DC took first pick this time, but Wings took Dire, which is odd because the first time they played it was the other way around.
Yeah.
They took Radiant.
They're trying to change things up.
Yeah,
Like-
maybe
like they
just
did-
trying to mix things up against DC.
Yeah, there's no way they want to play the same way again.
Yeah.
Because they're beaten pretty convincingly there.
Wings took Dire.
Yeah, Wings took Dire for this first game.
Okay, so they may be looking to copy what Newbie have done with Dire Side Enchantress with their early rotation scheme. So Newbie do this, I think, better than any other team right now. They'll run Chuan on the Enchantress. They'll run KP on a pretty tanky offlaner. They'll have that Enchantress start at the Secret Chop, at the Dire Secret Chop, rotate down into the Radiant Jungle super early, and they'll get the rate at which they're able to get ganks on either the mid coming up or the safe lane coming over with that Enchantress is just ridiculous in the early game. They basically, with that rotation scheme, they're able to control the right side of the map with this alarming rate.
Did they play against Doom and Witchdog though? Because they both counter Enchantress
Yeah,
really, really hard.
yeah.
I think this Doom is just gonna get boots and follow the Enchantress around, and she will be a non-factor for quite a while. I think.
But
agree.
do you feel like the counter starts that early? Like I buy the Doom counters Enchantress in the mid game.
I mean, like he needs 2 creeps to really be efficient, right? And he will only have 2 creeps by the 3rd enchant if Doom actually eats 1 creep. And by the time he has the 3rd creep up, he has the Devourer up again, and he can eat another creep to like ruin the gank. So I actually think if he keeps track of her and just keeps following her, he doesn't have to farm a lot. As long as Ench doesn't farm and doesn't get ganks off, like Doom is always gonna get the better end of it.
The point is, either way, Digital Chaos are in a really great position because they have the option. They can still go for the offlane Doom, or they can run the 4-position Doom, which I much prefer when you're facing up against an Enchantress like this. So either way, Digital Chaos
Riki?
are... Yeah, okay, so they are going to go the offlane Doom,
Yeah.
and Riki now is the 4-position to follow the
I
Enchantress.
told you guys we've seen like 3 5th ban Rickies today, and I told people this is not a joke. People,
Nope, it's going to come.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been
I mean,
waiting
it's not
for
just
it pretty
Digital
much all day.
Chaos. There are
a
several
lot of teams. Yep.
running it in scrims right now. You know how it starts, by the way? How it starts? It starts in pubs with the new
Oh, yeah.
AP.
It does.
It
Yeah.
starts
Well-
with the new AP, people bountying away Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
And then people are like, I can't get Bounty Hunter.
Yeah,
I'll
go
pick
Riki.
Riki.
Yeah.
And
But-
then all of a sudden everybody's like, holy crap.
We brought up the fact earlier that Lifestealer has a 57% win rate. It's the highest in 5K plus pubs right now. Guess who's number 2?
Yeah,
Riki.
Yeah.
I mean, that hero in late game, which pubs mostly go to, you need an MKB.
Yes.
You need MKB or BKB.
I still have nightmares, by the way. I came across Shane playing a Riki, and he actually streamed it, and
He's
I
still
still,
on
I
about this.
still
He was on
have
about this
nightmares.
at Epicenter.
Seriously, I still have nightmares about it.
I mean, I hope you're not joking about it, because I actually have real nightmares about it. I played so much matchmaking against Riki. I hate it so
yes,
much.
same.
Like late game, you need MKB. BKB is not enough. Like,
You realize right now
just
you guys are making
cloud.
Crit so happy. Like Crit is watching and going.
Oh yeah, I know. He's a dirty Riki spammer. He ruins
really
so many
is.
of my pub games. I actually hate him for that.
Yeah, when you play Shane when he plays Riki, we're now calling it being Riki rolled. That's how bad it's got now.
What Black is trying to say is his life is a living nightmare.
It
Yeah,
is.
It is.
Whenever I face that hero, I rather ban Riki than Bounty.
Where are we
That's
going
fine.
then? Last 5 seconds.
What is it,
We're
Disruptor?
going.
Yeah,
That's a
Lion.
fairly
Oh, just
safe.
Lion still in the pool?
Just a nice safe line right at the end of the game. Very quickly down the line. Best draft. Nahaz.
Oh boy. I'm going to go ahead and take DC. I really like what they're going to be able to do with this
Okay.
draft.
And for the series,
For the series, I'm going to go ahead and take Wings for the
Okay.
series.
Black. Same question.
I think Wings is gonna end up winning 2-1, but this game I favor DC,
Okay.
and it will depend a lot on how much Riki can get done.
Okay. Cap.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to abandon Wings here. I'm thinking about it real hard. I think I will.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
Okay. Quickly.
Digital Chaos. Digital Chaos.
Okay. DC. Right. Time to head over to our commentary team for the first game in our final series of the night in Group B. Who takes the advantage? Let's find out with OD Pixel.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, it's myself and Wagger ready to walk you through this one. It is Wings versus DC. Without any further ado, let's get ourselves straight into the action.
Wings Gaming versus Digital Chaos. Who will be victorious?
I don't know, Wagger. Who will be victorious? We've heard what the panel says about the drafts. We've got the boys here. In fact, let's have a look through who's on who. Misery there first through,
Well,
Saxa.
I just feel that I need to pick more Riki, obviously. Listening to his
Apparently,
panel.
These
Yeah,
guys are terrified.
yeah
of it.
they are. We should play more games with them.
There we
It'll
go.
be fun. I'm actually leaning towards DC here.
Okay.
They have great stuff to just counter the Weaver really effectively. And Enchantress as well. If you silence Enchantress, their DPS is just gone. And you have 3 different sources of silence. Riki, the Death Prophet, and the Doom, of course. The ultimate.
This is going to be very interesting. And the way that both teams have been playing as well today, I mean, how much does that kind of factor into how you're looking at, the different routes that teams have been through to get to this point? Who do you feel is going to be in a better position mentally?
I think Wings are probably very happy coming off their recent win here.
Yeah.
But in the same time, DC did win last time these two teams went up against each other, so that has to factor in. I just think that DC are pretty confident, but this is the most even matchup that I've seen today.
Okay.
When they played in the first series, it was a
That series.
3-game series. It was really, really clutch. All the games, the first game, the third game, those were really, really good series, good games. So recommend them for anyone who didn't see them. But first, let's see this.
Yeah, this could be just as
Mister
good,
was
even
scouted,
better.
by the way. He walked under a ward and a sentry, so they know exactly where the Riki is.
Yeah, so they'll See what he does indeed with his positioning. What's he?
He wants to slow down the Enchantress, just blocking this creep so that she can have quick impact. And they also warded and blocked the other one, so she's having a hard time.
Yeah, as we can see the lane matchups here at the moment. The whole Weave versus Blink, DP, DK in the mid lane, and your two safe laners. I mean,
Weaver against no one.
I was going to say, Weaver's going to have a fine time farming. Resolution, he's got to deal with the Tidehunter being in lane, but he has got Saxa to help with the harassment.
Yeah, I do like this Maledict against Tide just for a harassment on level 1. It helps quite a bit. No point getting stun early unless you think, oh, Ricky, harassing mid. No chance to kill here,
I mean, it's a lot of damage done to this DK, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just with a Siphon and that little slow allowing Ricky to get in with the punches.
Not only does he not have a salve, but it's also kind of hard to send out the salve towards mid lane, because Ricky can run around and just camp the courier as well. Until it's being upgraded, it's going to be hard for him to send out any extra regen here. And very quick pause. They're going immediately.
With that in mind, I mean, how active do you expect to see Misery around the map? Does he hang around mid and continues to be a nightmare for the DK, or does he go for the Ench?
He should win mid, and he should just maybe try and counter gank when the Ench comes in mid. So hanging around in the area he's right now is a very good place to be. But he might be looking to set up for the...
Oh, the power of Ricky here. It's going to dispel it to get smoke gang. Certainly, all right, nice stuff. They might get the kill, because immediately Ice Ice gets the Hex and Misery is gone. Oh!
He's dead.
Well,
oh!
There we go.
The hype.
There we go. Innocence finally takes him down, but
yeah,
you protect the mid laner, but you do throw away your life for it.
You do. Yeah. At least it, expended 1 dust, but that's definitely not good for Misery dying there. If he stayed on the high ground for just a second longer, might have worked out in his favor. Innocence trying to get active now, going to steal the enemy big creeps here.
We see Misery is actually headed back straight up towards the top lane. Innocence just taking away this camp on the sidelines from here, from the side of DC. And Misery still with the eyes up top towards the mid lane. Actually got Tide coming up close as well around here mid.
And Lion is running up behind the Doom here as well, so this could go poorly for Moo, but he doesn't have any point in Scorch.
Top lane, look, they're going for Shadow here with the stomp from Moo. It's nearly enough. Shadow just being able to Shakuji. Their turnaround actually end up killing Moo in return. Ice Ice helping out, the stuns there. Shadow coming back forward. Can they get this one as well? He's on 16 HP. Oh! Now, just ticking in time, that passive, allowing Misery to disjoint the final right click.
That was almost too close.
So nonetheless, I mean, 2-0 at the moment to the side of Wings. They're certainly finding the favourable action. Level 3 Tidehunter. He wants to try and do some mid. You saw Faith coming over, seeing if there was the opening. I mean, Faith at the moment just making sure he's in the right place at the right time, if necessary.
Good defensive ward, more importantly, as this just making sure that Tide rotation doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I think Tide, he should probably just focus on farming. Even though his creep camp is blocked up in a secret shop, he could still just farm the enemy jungle here. I don't see how he could be stopped.
And interesting to know as well, if you look at the two safe laners, regardless of the fact that we've had a little bit of space at the start, and Resolution did have the Tide in the lane, he's 21 for 11 compared to Shadow's 15 for 5 in mid lane. Again, we going with the Siphon, following through with Misery's right click, and they're going to go for the dive here. Blink turns around with the Breathe Fire, and that, factoring the... it doesn't matter. I was going to say with the damage reduction, they can't get it, but we gets the Crit Swarm out, and he'll take down the DK, and big plays there from DC. They needed to make something happen in the mid lane, and finally Misery's presence was able to help out and get the kill.
DP is a very easy hero to gank for as a Ricky.
Bottom as well. Resolution, we were talking about this man having a great lane in terms of CS. Now he's got a kill under his belt as well.
The early phase boots on Lifesteal is really going to punish this Tidehunter as well, because now the creep wave is pushing in. They have the catapult with them. So
Moo trapped up. He has got the Scorch Stuff regen. We'll see if it's going to be enough. The Hex coming through. Could he get himself out? Yeah, he's too speedy. Ooh. It's a close one.
That was very close. A lot of action as in any Wings game. Just always putting pressure. I wasn't too impressed when they played a previous Enchantress game in the last series, but I do think they make good use of aggression in general. So if it allows them to play more onto the enemy side of the map, sure. That's fine, I suppose. But it doesn't really matter what heroes they will have. They will always just run at the enemy. It was crazy watching them against Secret.
You see the side of them as well, just putting some pressure on this top tier one. Misery the only one up here at the moment. TP coming back in from Moo. We'll see if they can set something up. Drop the cloud to try and slow down the push, but Moo, well, they're going to move straight in onto this man.
No mana for Hex, though.
Misery's trying to jump in to keep them off him, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing that this Ricky can do to stop Wings' aggression. They'll find one. The sentry's down. If they can get the open vision onto Misery, they could try and go for this one, but he just gets himself out of range.
Got to try for a deny. No, not even. He's scared.
He's not messing around this Ricky. Misery's out of there.
Ricky has like no damage, so it would be a very optimistic try. And again, Wings just getting payoff there. Doom didn't have Scorcher out yet because it was so recently they died, or had to run all the way back.
At the moment,
struggle time.
It certainly feels like Wings' gameplay is working in terms of putting the pressure on. Still, though, we've got to mention Resolution on his life stage continuing to get a lot of space down in this bottom lane. There's nothing that Wings are doing at the moment in terms of looking down there. And I guess the question is, what can we look to see being thrown down there to try and stop this lifesteal? How do you slow down Resolution if you're Wings this game?
I don't think that they will aim to slow down lifesteal at all. Until they 5-man around the DK with his ulti, I don't think that they will force the bottom push. It's more likely they're going to go for the mid rotations, try and get a kill there, go for the DP. If she doesn't scale good with items, then she always gets a hard game. Very item dependent hero for sure. Just ganking the lifesteal is too unreliable. It's really dangerous.
Shadow's going to TP down here to join Beyond and Innocent. We'll see what kind of movement they want to go to. Threat, this of course frees up the top lane a bit for the line to get some levels. Mid lane making a go again onto Blink. They'll pop the Exorcism. No messing here for the side of DC. And it's going to be another pick off onto the DK.
They were on the way mid, but just a little bit too late. DC faster with the rotation here.
Look, if you're Wings, do you really try and go for this? There's 3 of you. You're going to be fighting into Exorcism.
I think they just melt, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're going to try for it with a leading gush onto Weeheart. Immediately the clown popped down. Bjarni's going low, and the gush will finish him off. It's going to count as a double kill. Now with the Rage, Resolution moves onto a second. Lion's going to fall on the sidelines, and Shadow the only one left alive.
All right,
as we said, what?
They just melt.
Why do you go into that, Wagger? That was very questionable move from Wings.
Wings have the most aggressive mindset out of any team in the entire tournament. This is like, there's no doubt in my mind that they're the most aggressive.
They just do not hold back.
Yeah, and I do think that sometimes they're stupidly aggressive, and sometimes it pays off because the enemy won't expect you to do it. But in this scenario, level 4 Tidehunter with half HP leading the charge, I mean, DP just kills you. I'm not sure. Sometimes I question what they do.
And bottom lane, talking about the Tide, Bjarn, he might be in trouble as well. 3 members of DC moving in. Resolution leading the charge. Saxaramu are going to be there as well. The question is, will there be any kind of help for Bjarn? It doesn't look like it with the Maledict on him.
He's on his own.
The right clicks from Resolution. This man is certainly...
And she's coming in. She might be able to heal, but no, not there in time.
This is another great play here for DC, and well, maybe more so a misplay from Wings, and DC are quick to capitalize on it.
Yeah, DC are definitely making rotations now, and they're doing this without having to move their lifesteal early on as well. So he's gonna have his armlet finished up just about now, and once he has the next item after that, probably gonna be Echo Saber into Desolator, which is the most standard build-up. If he gets that, he's gonna be a monster in this game.
So the armlet, of course, just... It's brilliant against Wings lineup. They don't really have any damage over the time. I mean, one thing, maybe the bugs, you got to be a little bit scared of, but yeah, that's the slightest thing. Other than that, you're having a great time with your armlet. Yeah,
and Ricky's going to catch up his level 6 just barely here on the top lane. He's going to be a little bit away from it, but getting 3 range creeps plus the catapults, tons of experience.
This is nice to see from Misery as well. You know, after the first kind of, obviously giving away first blood, since that, he's had a really clean game. He's 1-1-3. He has been making the kills happen. You know, we saw him put a lot of pressure onto the DK early on, and that's kind of paid off. You look at the difference now between Wii and Blink, 3.9k net worth on your Death Profit compared to 2.8k on the Dragon Knight.
But also a difference just in how much the carries have been farming. You mentioned earlier Lifesteal was feeling very safe. I think that one rotation that Weaver did, just coming up with the Enchantress and Tide and smoking, it really didn't pay off, and then dying there as well. He's falling behind now. Of course, the Weaver not dying, but everyone else in his team dying.
There we have it again. We just continue the pressure on mid. Pops the Exorcism, takes the tower. More money into the pockets of DC.
He has the Veil completed now. Very good item on Death Prophet ever since they changed the Spirit Siphon. It's now magic, so very good item for her indeed.
I guess the thing is as well, I mean, with DC's lineup, I mean, how much pressure is there for them to keep the momentum going? I mean, it feels like they've always got kind of this very kind of reliable late game, you know, essentially 4 cores with Ricky transitioning into one, so there's not even a rush for them. Oh, they're finding the positive early game anyway. DC
are in a great spot. They can just play slowly if they want. I do think they should be taking the tier 1 towers and then try with the Death Prophet level 2 ulti to break the tier 2 towers once they have that online. But also just some more aggression to counter this Ancient stack that's going on. Did not stack again, but that's a triple stack here on the Ancients.
And Wings will certainly need to take that. They do need something big to try and help them in these next fights. As at the moment, as you said, with the Veil done onto Weehaw, what would you imagine he picks up as his next item?
Some people do like going for the Octarine straight away, which isn't too bad, or just Yule Scepter, which is going to be quite strong in this game as well. But I don't know, there's a lot of options actually for Death Prof. Even Travels is not too bad. She makes good use of movement speed.
Actually, yours could be rather good, because if you look between the Riki, the Lifesteal, and the DP, they can't cancel TPs.
Yeah.
Obviously, Moo getting caught out here. The question is, did DC do something to turn? It's a lovely silence from Weehaw with the Doom down onto the Tidehunter. He's gone. Now DC moving in for more. Innocence can get himself away from this one with the Siphon already sucking him down. Crit Swarm to the backside. A double kill for Weehaw.
That's such a fast Doom as well. When he has the Scorched Earth and the Face Boots and Windlace, he just runs in. And again, a clean fight, 2 kills. And they don't expect too much for it.
Look at it. You talked about aggressive Wings. They want to do something here. They'll come in with the finger, take down Zaxxer on the Witch Doctor. But DC, they've still got 4 members around. If you're Wings, you want to be careful about coming back into this one.
Exactly. That's not a push-stopping kill.
Maybe try to deny. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But, I mean, just going back to the engagement as well, just really nice play from Weehaw on the Death Prophet. Hits, what, a 3-man silence, and then suddenly your Wing. What do you do against that? As you said earlier, coming out the drop, they've got so much silence, and it really hurts Wings' lineup.
It is tough until Wings have items. It's very hard to fight against this Riki. We heard from the panel, you need BKB, you need MKB. Well, you just need something to reposition, and early on you don't have these tools. Of course, trying now with a Weaver to be aggressive, but this Infest, Riki Infest with Lifestealer, that can kill a Weaver.
Yeah.
His team is behind him though, and Ravage available.
On top of the cloud, indeed, trying to make sure he can't get himself out. They're going to try for it.
Oh, he was
it off in time. He does, and Wings, they do have the 4-man here. Misery's got to be careful. Jumps across the Resolution. He's going to pop the tricks of the trade. Is there going to be any kind of backup, or is this Riki a dead Riki? Yeah, he is.
They led with the Infest's ending. They didn't smoke before Lifesteal jumped out. That was why he got away. Chikuchi just instantly. So a little bit strange. They could probably have killed the Weaver before anything else happens, because Riki jumping into his ulti and Rage from Lifesteal, you can't be stopped. Anyway, Lifesteal lives, so that's pretty good.
That's true. But off the back of the misplay, Wings, they do manage to find themselves a tier 1.
Pinging out the Roshan, scared of Wings going there, but they're not going to go for that, I think. They're just happy if they can farm up Ancients right now. They can get their Tide over there. He's going to get his mech completed. He only has 1 point in Kraken though, so that's going to be pretty bad. Top tower being pressured a lot by Moo here. Trying to force someone to go up here, not allow the enemy team to 5-man more. Oh, they got the stack again. Jesus. Alright then. Quad stack.
This is a lot of farm, indeed, as you said, for the Tide. And, I mean, yeah, that would pretty much give him the mechanism if he able to take it safely.
They were a little bit unfortunate, though. They got the double dragon. That's a lot of armor, because the armor are from dragon stack, so that's going to take a little bit longer now for Tide to farm. But still decent time, I guess.
Nonetheless, they're getting time to do it. You've still got on the top lane Zaxxer hanging around with Moo. As you said, maybe just seeing if anyone's going to come in for the defense. They've got both the Death Ward and the Doom available.
Oh, smoke time it looks like on DC.
Yeah.
Grouping up.
Every ult available. Let's see what DC can do with it.
Yep. Every single person joining up for this fight.
Yeah. And I think as well, obviously, with the time that Wings were off the map, they knew that they were doing the Ancients. It's going to be exactly where they head to. But the Ancients have already been done. Wings still slightly hanging around.
They could think that they're in Roche Pit as well. But yeah, now they ping it out. As their smoke doesn't pop, they're going to run deeper. But Wings, are they setting up for their own smoke right now?
I mean, this is the thing. Is, well,
they are.
With this huge gang, everyone off the map, Wings, they know that something fishy is going on. So
Lina's Blink right now. That's a big pickup.
That's a great time at 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
Ice.
really quick. Well, they got 2 towers, and that helps a lot.
Oh, Misery.
Still, though.
Look at this. Being a little bit cheeky. They're going to jump in to Fate. There we go with the smoke. Can they kill him? No, the mech's there, and now it's going to be the turnaround for Wings. Look at the lead on Misery. Ravage comes through. Catches 2. That's going to be the Riki down. Can they actually get themselves anything more? Wee's trying to fight back into this one. DC wanting to return the aggression back onto Wings with the Exorcism out. The Hex, the finger Wee. He's falling low, but he's still going to live for it. And the Death Ward laying down here into the side of Wings. 3 to drop. And Moo maybe looking to chase for more. He's found Ice. The stun won't catch Resolution, and triple kill for the Lifestealer.
Shadow?
Are they going to get themselves a full team wipe? The Doom is there, and Digital Chaos
5 kills for a Misery. I did say that last time that I cast DC as well, that Misery, he's their scapegoat. He's the one that gets focused and killed off, but then the rest of them are just going to benefit from it. And again,
really impressive. And a fight as well that, you know, Wings, they had every opportunity to disengage, but they did choose to come back into it. The fact that, you know, you see we're getting the exorcism off before Lion gets his hex in and such, just sitting in the middle of the fight, and as you said, Misery just creating a lot of disruption, making Wings go on him.
Wings just, they don't have much respect for the enemy team. They pop the Ravage and everything, and they take the fight.
Go.
Yeah, they hit only the Ricky. They're like, okay, let's keep taking team fight. Ricky's dead. I think they have to give a little bit more credit to the enemy team sometimes, but they have their own style of playing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's definitely their weakness, though, is that they never back down.
And they certainly need to be very, well, at least a little bit more careful about the way that they're choosing to take these fights against Digital Chaos, because it's certainly showing in the gold department. I mean, you can see at the moment the net worth on these heroes. Very comfortable place in terms of the overall. It's starting to head up, but the fact that the majority of the value is on the cause of DC.
Yeah, and they're getting big item pickups from that value as well. The Yule Scepter is completed now for the Death Prophet. The Echo Saber is on Lifestealer. Wings trying for the Roshan here. As DC are going to keep pressuring top. But that should be a pretty good trade for Wings, actually. They should be happy with that.
Just behind us left up top at the moment. You said the 3 of the members of Digital Chaos. Misery, Resolution.
Very slow Roshan, though. This is actually taking forever.
I mean, as you said, it looks like they get away with it. I don't see DC coming down there in time. I mean, it's a slow rush, but at the same time, it's a slow siege from the side of Digital Chaos into this tier 2.
It is. DC kind of misplayed there. They didn't actually push top. They just tried to set up for a fight there. So they didn't anticipate this Roshan at all.
I think they anticipate a little late, because they do start to make a movement over.
Yeah, but that was a good minute.
They probably feel that they can fight Taegis as well with the way the last fight went, and here we have it, the cast bouncing between Blink and Ice Ice. The Death Lord's down, and Blink, he's gone. They're going to chase down, looking for the line as well, and they'll find it. DC, take down 2.
All right, 2 big kills again. DC gonna have more momentum to go for a mid tower after this. Sure, you have the Aegis on the Weaver, but does it really matter? This early in the game, Weaver cannot 5v5 fight. He's not designed to do this.
This is what they're just going to power down the lane with the rest of the use of this exorcism. And it really feels, you know, as you said earlier on, Wings choosing to take fights when they just didn't have the power to do so. But now at this point, Digital Chaos, they know that they're ahead, and they know that Aegis or not, they're going to run straight towards you, and they're going to be able to get out with a free fight and take 2 heroes and not lose anything.
Digital Chaos have a very smart draft in the sense that they want to go as 5 with these kind of picks, and they are doing it a lot. And that is a very good counter to Wings, in fact, because they will still run into each other, and then you're always going to win the fight. And this early in the game, while Dragon Knight is sort of good and Weaver is pretty good of a hero, they don't excel in these scenarios. Doom definitely does. Death Prophet definitely does, and Witch Doctor, oh my god, does he ever.
Misery. Just getting some intel here for the side. Oh no, the Innocence and Nice Ice are about this area. Blink now coming in. He's just got the armlet done. Still has quite a way to catch up on this Dragon Knight compared to the members of DC. There's a Blink now on Doom as well.
Yeah, Weeha just running in mid. He wants to take a fight.
And the thing is, you know, if he gets that initial siphon, they can certainly go for that. That and the Cloud.
Oh, the
You're able
courier.
to catch someone out, and Misery.
That's fine. It's gonna run away.
Bian needs to be a bit careful. Looks like he's going to be fortunate. DC did start to make a move into the jungle, but don't follow quite far enough round to spot out the Tidehunter. But I mean, at this point, as you said, you know, with Wings, consider, you know, for you, this is a big kind of draft thing. The fact that DC's draft is working a lot better against what Wings are trying to do. What do you do if you're Wings, if you're put into this position?
It's part drafting, but it's also just that they play in a very cohesive kind of style. They run together. They don't have any big mess-ups where they farm a lane alone too long. Like right now, they have Doom alone on top lane, but they're close there. They want to go there with every hero, so their intention is still to 5-man. What Wings need to do is to split up the game and split push, but that's not typically what they draft for.
Oh, Misery. He's setting someone up here. He's got Resolution inside him. Let's see what he can go for. Pings onto Shadow. They want to try and make it. Can they kill this man before he gets to the silence? No. He'll get the chance to get the Shikuchi off. Ice Ice with the finger onto Misery. Is going to be enough to kill him. Yes, they'll take down the Ricky, but again, DC find themselves the kill and return onto Lion. They're going to chase down Shadow. Do they have the control to deal with this Weaver? They'll lay down a sentry, but no. Shadow already Shikuching away. Will get himself out of range of the Siphon.
It's a lot of time spent chasing him in top lane. I think Doom is going to be just fine, popping the drums and running away with the face boost and Scorch. He's really fast. Yeah, that's still a fine trade for Wings at least, though. They forced a lot of rotation there from DC.
Yeah, and it's a 1-for-1, and it, you know, being the side that's behind, that's always going to be a good thing, especially when it's just a straight support for the trade.
Yeah, you even see it in just a gold 355 versus 250. It's an okay trade, and experience-wise even better.
Saxa, he's just been caught out here. He's going to go for the TP out.
It's going to be fine. He doesn't have any vision anymore to kill the wards. In a sense, didn't get the D ward, so Courier's coming out for scouting duties. And he will get it. Courier, good job.
Good job, Courier. I read the Courier came up for that one.
Yep, good thing. And Lifesteer, he actually has an entire Sanjasha almost completed, along with his Echo Saber and Armlet, so he's looking really,
I
really
mean,
big.
Resolution's having a great game. 5-0-5. He's still got 150 CS at this point. He's been finding the space to farm, but he's been involved in the fights, and yet we are as well. I mean, 8-0-6. It's just the fact that both of the cores for DC are just having an absolute performance this
Mystery
match.
finding Ice.
And who's going to join in? He's going to look for the kill secure. Misery says, no, mate, I'm using the ult to secure that one.
And we have not talked much about Moon, but that's one of the big players is Moo on his Doom here, because later into the game, even if you farm out as Wings, you're still going to have a Dragon Knight or Eng or Weaver, in worst case, getting doomed off.
Yeah.
And how do you win teamfights?
When you're a man down, yeah.
It really comes down to initiation, and you need to get some great Blink Ravages and follow up with Lion afterwards.
There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a hard game here for the side of Wings. Obviously, beyond with that recent pickup of the Blink Dagger, we'll see if he's able to find a big setup. But at the same time, there's not really it's not a wombo lineup. And well, mid lane, Resolution is certainly going wombo onto Blink. No, he's not going to be able to take this man down with the armlet. It's too tanky on the DK and Resolution. I've quite got enough damage for a Dragon Knight.
I wonder if he's actually going to go for the Blink Dagger on the Dragon Knights. It's a build that many players are going for. It's really good in terms of just setting up for
Would you favor it over the Shadow Blade?
In this game, I would. You already have the Weaver, so you have Invis to force out sentries. Looking at the map already, there's 3 sentries down right now from DC. Just the more detection the enemy have, the less I want to build the Shadow Blade. So yeah, I do think Blink Dagger would be a good pick.
Oh,
he's gonna go for the BKB build, I guess. Okay.
I mean, it's what the draft talks about, is, you know, just having something as a core to deal with Misery in his cloud.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I just believe that initiation is going to be extremely crucial if they want to win the fights on the side of Wings. And you also run the risk of using your BKB, but just getting doomed immediately after.
I mean, as you said, Wings, they're a team that likes to take risks. I think, you know, there's no arguing at this point. You do need to take risks, and they need to make them work. Wings with this smoke coming across.
It's a well-timed smoke. The lanes were decently pushed at least, but see if they can evade getting revealed by this little Ricky here, sneaking around. And it seems that DC know. Looking at the way they just hug up. And
I mean, look at Wings' position. You know, they know that there's going to be a Ricky potentially dispelling it, so they're just hanging from the high ground.
Yeah. Nothing really going to come out of this one, and a lot of time that Wings are just sitting together, not really farming that much. And the push is now coming in bottom. Every ulti is available. I wonder. I think this is make or break for Wings, actually, this defense. They could turn it around for sure. They have the ultis to do so, but they need to get a great initiation.
You can see already, look on the sidelines move, just blinking himself up in the tree line, making sure he has a perfect opening to get in and on to one of those backliners, and as you said, just delete someone from the fight.
He has Vlad's drums and the pack leader's aura from the Wolf.
It's time. Out. He'll now try for a TP. Do you want to Ravage for this one? Surely not. And he won't indeed, so it's a full escape from Digital Chaos. 25 minutes in as well. You look at the side of Wings, losing a melee Rax, that is not great for their lineup. They don't really have the best means of pushing that back out. I guess they can kind of just have the Tide sit in that lane, or?
Definitely not looking good, Odie. It's definitely not. This next Roshan is going to be so crucial. They need to fight around that. Both teams know it, and we'll see who can do it better. I still think DC has the better Roche fight lineup as well.
Oh, definitely. And look at Wii as well. I believe he's just 400 gold away from having a completed Octarine.
That is disgusting. And we also have crit on Resolution. I talked to Black earlier about this build, having Echo Saber. He said, I just want to have Echo Saber and crit on every hero in Dota. That's what Black said. I'm like, yeah, it does hurt a lot. And when Crystallis is upgraded...
That's why he's not playing this major.
Yeah, well, dude, you're always so harsh.
I know.
Resolution is making it work, man.
No, he is, absolutely.
He's a saint. He makes the Vanguard Radiance work. He makes the Echo Saber Crystallis work. He's our saint.
Yeah, I think for kind of a long time as well, Resolution, people have known this man to be a very, very strong player, but it's very refreshing to see it work out so well with a lineup like Digital Chaos. When he got sent over, when he goes over to the States, it's not something that happens every day for a CIS player.
No,
but
definitely
he's
not.
found his place perfectly with this lineup.
Yeah, which is really rare. Speaking of Misery here, he gets revealed by the Sentry and Observer. So gonna be a little bit careful. Of course, the Infest Bomb is there. They don't know about it. Weaver trying to force someone to go down to bottom lane, trying to avert this 5-man, because Wings know they're weaker.
Straight to the pit, as you said, Digital Chaos, they've got strong Roche. What are they going to do to try and contest this? I mean, this has been spotted out with this. What they know that Pian's there on the high ground, and DC just they know that they could go for this Roche.
They're
It's going to be
all
hard
around
for
them,
Wings
though.
to contest this.
This is a very awkward position for DC, but they're really strong.
Ice jumps in with the stun.
Oh, he raged the yeah.
He raised the finger. All right, Ice is out of this one. The silence, the Maledict onto Piano, pop the mech, healing himself up, but he's gone. The Ravage, it doesn't do anything. And Wings 2 heroes down. They have to get themselves away from the Roche pit and move. Well, he doesn't want to let that happen. He's already chasing them down. Misery's there, closing in as well. Can they get themselves a kill out of this one? Doom onto Shadow. We coming in as well. Blink throws the stun onto Misery. It doesn't matter though. The full 5-man of DC there this time to back Misery up. This time the Ricky's not dying, and GG is called Digital Chaos.
We are
Bringing
not
it
giving up
down
the
on
chase. Wanted the last one, but he's gonna die.
Oh man, I mean,
They made it look really easy.
I was going to say we've seen some good stuff from Digital Chaos today, but that's going to be one of their best performances today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And they did win last time they were against Wings, but it did not look like this.
No.
This was much, much better, much
It did
cleaner.
not.
It seems a little bit like they have Wings' number now, just understanding that, they're super aggressive in every scenario. If we're just having the better 5-man lineup and we go as 5 lot, then what are they going to do? Wings have to have a second playstyle. You can't just rely on one thing.
I mean, if there was a side that's going to be able to bring out something totally different in Game 2, it would be Wings.
It would be.
They're
It would
going to look
definitely
at
be.
this. They're going to be like, right, let's do some crazy stuff Game 2. So don't go in because that, is going to be quite something. Anything that you want to see from them? What do they pull out?
Well, what I love about them, they play every different hero. They have the
Okay.
biggest pool, so just surprise me, Wings.
Carry Venom.
I like
Monster. Let's go back with the Carry Venom.
No, not that.
Okay, not that. Don't do that Game 2, Wings. We'll see what happens anyway. We're going to head back to the panel, though, to hear what they have to say about DC and Wings Game 1. What a performance from Digital Chaos.
Yeah, what a performance indeed. Thank you very much, Odie Pixel and Wagger. We'll be back there, of course, on the commentary desk for Game 2, but back on the desk right now. We'll start with Cap. Impressive performance from DC.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes you're baiting me, where you're just like,
How is that baiting?
it's like, capitalist,
How
here,
is that
say this
baiting
nice
you?
thing about some teams. And
Well, I'm just trying to get you on the good side with one
Yeah.
or two teams. I think, alienating all 16 teams here at the Manila Major might be a bit too much.
But that's the
for
thing,
you.
I'm not on the panel all the time, Paul. I can alienate only the teams that I'm on panel for. I think there was some small execution errors from Wings, from Digital Chaos, but I think overall they did very well. I would have to say that we didn't really get a chance to go back to it, but the Death Prophet was a really excellent pick.
Yep.
Digital Chaos are smarter than me. Puck doesn't match up well against a Dragonite, but Death Prophet does match up very well and is still a really good counter to the Weaver, especially with the way that they were playing it. We were talking about how the Weaver was, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You go Lincolns, you're screwed on one side. You go BKB, you're screwed on the other.
Yeah.
And Black, what were your thoughts on both the draft, because you didn't always get a chance to comment on the draft itself, but then how it played out?
We all thought DC was going to win this game pretty convincingly, but not like that. They completely destroyed them. The last pick, Ricky, I still don't 100% agree on, but I mean, they made it work, and honestly, though, Wings made it really easy for them. They played pretty poorly on item choices were really bad. The way
You can say it, Black. It's okay. You can say it.
No,
You can do it.
I'm not trying to down-talk anyone or anything. It's just, it was just not good.
Give in to your flame,
But
Black.
we all know they can pull it off, and they might.
No, not the light side. Don't be positive. No.
No, you know what I mean. Anyway, go.
Yeah, the
Cap doing
dark
his-
side.
I
He's
mean, Cap-
definitely with Cap today, that's for sure. Someone has taken him and done something with him.
What happened to you
I
over
don't
that
know.
casting then?
Dude,
All of a
he's
sudden,
so
Cap
mad.
is Palpatine.
Yeah,
What is going on?
I think he was tilted by that last game between Secret.
I think he was.
Yeah,
all right,
he
all
was.
right, fair enough.
Alan, interesting pick. Ricky, first time pick here. We've had 4 bans before,
Yeah.
but Black says he doesn't think it really worked out.
Well, Actually, I think that is part of the strength of this Digital Chaos roster right now. I mean, Misery will really play anything, and he'll play it pretty well. He annihilated Complexity not that long ago with a 5-position puck.
Yeah.
And you can really see, this is, again, I love this visual representation of the game that DC really just kind of dominated from start to finish. They got their cores off to a pretty good start and really never relinquished the stranglehold. I really do agree. I think these guys aren't flaming. They're being serious when they're talking about this is the first game in a while we've seen where Wings really made some fairly obvious individual mechanical mistakes, and that played a big part in them falling behind in some of these fights.
How tired are these two teams right now? And is
Yeah.
that playing a part? It's been a long day, isn't it?
And for Wings, it's not only your third best of 3 of the day, but it's your second consecutive.
Yeah.
It's a tough position.
Yeah. It's going to start creeping in. The mistakes are going to start creeping in.
How many games did they play in the first series? They did 2-0,
all
right?
of their,
or was it 3
no,
games?
all of their so far both of their 2 series have gone 2-1.
Yeah,
They've gone
so
the full
it's the 7th
3
game
games.
for them as well.
Yeah.
Like, they played the most games out of everyone too.
Right.
I think I got to give a shout out to Misery real quick because I think he is. I had a talk with this team and I was fairly pessimistic about Digital Chaos, even with their wins against Complexity. I was fairly pessimistic going into this event. But then I had the opportunity to be able to talk to some of the players about Digital Chaos and actually talk to Moo, who I'm good friends with. And it really seems like Misery has got his head on very straight when it comes to captaining. He's apparently a very good captain. And that was something that I was a bit concerned about. I wasn't sure if he was going to be. I'm friends with Misery, but he does have a reputation that precedes him. But I feel like that he seems to be very calm. He seems to have, obviously, a great strategic mind on him. It's never been the case that he hasn't. But he's managed to really lead what is, somewhat of an amateur squad. Like, Saksa has huge potential, right? But he is, somewhat newer to the scene. Same goes with Moo in some ways. So I think that he's really done a lot to lead this team to victory. And it's not just from the captain role, but also as a player. He's also stood out as a player, and that is something that is very hard for captains to be able to achieve, right? To be able to both do the in-game playing and actually play to your best possible abilities while also trying to lead your team strategically.
And one of the criticisms of him internally with Secret was that he wasn't stepping up enough and often enough. And yet he's done that with more responsibility on his shoulders.
Which, by the way, I don't understand how anybody that watched the Shanghai Major could say that. My respect for Misery over the last year and a half or so has just gone absolutely off the charts, because when you look at what he was able to do in terms of going from a fairly hard 5-position role to playing the off-lane role with Secret, playing it very, very well at Shanghai, as Darkseer play, as Tide play was so clutch at that tournament, to then, again, going back to support and stepping into that captain's role. And Misery, you saw it earlier in the interview with Slacks, right? You ask Misery a question, you're going to get a straight, unvarnished answer.
He's not going to mess around. Yeah. He's going to tell you how it is. He didn't pull any punches. He didn't care about it either. He's just going to tell you how he feels.
Something that sorry, go ahead.
Just talking about Misery, I played with him in China and LGD Int, and honestly, I have nothing bad to say about him. He's super nice. He's almost never negative. He's always trying his best, for the team. Like, when he doesn't really, as you guys said, speak out a lot and stuff, he actually thinks it's the best for the team, because maybe we confuse someone, but he always tries the best for the team. He always just has the team in his heart. He just wants to win with his team. There's really nothing bad I can say about him. I've played with him for 3 months, and it was really good. Yeah.
Do you think Alan, has picked up a little bit from Puppy in that time that they weren't together very long? But I just imagine that he's the kind of guy. He's very quiet, very understated. He'd have sat there. He'd have looked at the way Puppy's running the team, captaining, getting the players to gel together, and he will have learnt from that. And then playing as a captain now, if he applies the same way, almost like a Kuroki kind of figure who's also studied under. It's like there's so many, isn't there? Puppy students almost.
I mean, he's played on a lot of very, very talented teams the last couple of years. You look at what he was able to do with C9, obviously the stint now with Secret, very different leadership dynamics on those two teams, even though, with Envy captaining C9 and then Puppy leading Secret. I think he's been able to take and apply a lot of those lessons. I also think PyCat being here is a really, really big plus for them, because sometimes you just need to hear something from a different person.
Yeah, or bounce an idea off them. And
exactly.
Does this sound crazy to you if we do that? And the guy goes, actually, yeah, that is crazy.
But it's hard, right? We talked earlier, because you guys were talking earlier about Puppy and how he's led teams over the years, about sometimes as a captain you have to kind of micromanage. It makes a big difference if you're not always the one that's having to correct or discuss.
Has he been out in the sun?
Oh, well.
Yes.
Yeah, he's 10, man.
I will tell you right now, I first got close to Misery when he was on Team Dog and they were practicing at Freaks for You. And I will tell you right now that every single time they were not playing, he was out sunbathing. Him and Pycat, every single time. We're on the second floor. He would get out of the window and get onto the roof for him and Pycat to lay there with their shirts off.
About
That is Misery.
And it's like most people from that region of Europe, it's like they're either white or, I mean, I've got the Canada tan going right now, so I can't really talk, but it's
okay.
white or pink. Right.
It's okay. I have a Twitch tan too. It's fine.
Oh, I want to say another thing about Pycat being there. I think it's really important right now for teams to be able to have a unified vision of how their playstyle really works. And Pycat is someone who obviously is very close to Misery, and I think he helps reinforce that. I think you also look at the team dynamic of Digital Chaos, something that is probably very much lacking on Team Secret. You look at DC, and I see Resolution, very humble guy, is always willing to listen to any sort of critiques. You've got Moo, who does have some strong ideas about Dota, but I think he's pretty happy with the way things are going, and I think that he feels like his opinion is listened to and his team is performing well, so he's not getting really frustrated. Saksa, from what I've heard, only nice things to say about that guy. Again, another person who's rather humble, is extremely talented, and is open to ideas about Dota. And Weehaw, who I think is kind of similar to Moo in that regard, in that if things are going wrong or they have different ideas about Dota, will be vocal about it. But I think Misery and probably Pycat backing him up are incorporating those ideas about Dota, but still getting that unified front about what are we going to be doing in this game. And that's something that's very key. I don't think enough people understand individual talent does not mean much in this sort of age of Dota where everyone is so close. Yeah, absolutely. So it's all about strategy. It's all about draft. It's all about how executing an idea of Dota all the way through, even if some other people disagree with it.
A sort of a mixture of calmness, creativity, passion, mentality,
and team chemistry.
And team chemistry. We've talked about a lot about EG and Secret in particular not having that, and yet here's a DC squad thrown together at the last minute because of circumstance that actually seems to be more chemistry than EG or Secret has right
but
now.
But I want to expound on how much it matters. You mentioned Resolution first, and I wanted to take that point up because I think it makes it so much easier to have team chemistry when you've got a guy like Resolution that you understand that he comes from a region of very big egos and very balls out play and he comes from a region that's not necessarily famous for stable teams, okay? And yet he's on this team he's always going to find a way to do something good in a game. Regardless of how much he's pressured early, he's an incredibly stable player, has a very wide hero pool. It's so much easier to build a team when you have players that are both flexible and humble and able to play incredibly stable Dota in any situation.
And on top of that, are very hardworking as well.
Yeah,
yes.
That guy's crazy.
I'm quite excited by the fact that actually there are 3 regions within one team.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this whole multi-region thing where there's 2 regions in one. There's 3 in this one. And they're playing a bit like Chinese Dota as well. So maybe there's 4 regions in it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most interesting teams from an international perspective. Just the idea of sort of the rejects all coming together, and it's really hard to say they're rejects when you've got like the 2 obvious biggest rejects are Misery and Weehaw, who came from winning Shanghai Major to being rejected from their team, but that's kind of what it was.
We shouldn't forget they are the defending champions, effectively.
Right.
Those 2 right now.
That's about it, I mean, they're more the defending champions than Secret is, that's for sure. So
What I really hope though
they've already gone further.
Yeah, but what I really hope though is that DC will perform really well because everybody says they just played NA qualifiers. It must be a fluke. They're not doing that well against
That was a
international
tough
teams.
qualifier to come through.
It was a really tough qualifier, and now they're playing so well against Wings, who just they came off a LAN win.
Okay, we're into the draft, and we have a first pick Dazzle for the first time today.
That is Wings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just
One of
Wings
the
things.
one of the
Again.
few heroes though that's really a staple for them. And they're able to get away with it in the Chinese scene because it counters the lifesteal. It counters a number of heroes that are pretty popular on that meta, but it's still a hero that they run very well.
And they're also not scared to like last pick a Husker or something if it's like
Exactly.
a really good hero for them.
Oh my God, you have to be so aware of Huskar when you're playing Wings. We saw this wasn't on the mainstream, of course, but we saw OG win that game. I believe it was game 2 in their series with a Huskar. Wings, they're absolutely terrifying with that hero.
This is because of the Dazzle, it actually inhibits the pickups that Digital Chaos ran for last time. Lifestealer is pretty heavily countered by Dazzle because he's so single target focused. Shallow Grave takes a really big advantage, and the ultimate actually Weave is rather effective, and in some ways the healing is rather effective against both of those heroes. Doom slow damage over time, countered out by the heal, and the Weave, obviously some physical damage, but also Doom's a very low armor hero in general for the first 20 minutes of the game. So I think Dazzle was a pretty smart pickup, strategically knowing that Digital Chaos would still prefer those heroes, and they have to switch up the Lifestealer for the Lion. I think Doom still works out pretty well. He's just such a versatile hero.
So Lycan pick 2.
Okay.
That's my highest win percent hero right there.
Lycan is a boss.
Yeah.
Lycan is a boss hero.
Lycan is, I think, insanely good, but he's also not going to be that hero that is picked up insanely high amount, right?
It's a smart pick because when you look at the teams here that run it, it's mostly the really good teams that are going to be picking Lycan. So I still come on now. I have tied for largely the same reasons, but I still think that Doom Lion is like one of my favorite 2 hero opens right now, along with like Beastmaster Lion. It's so stable.
I mean, you open those 2 heroes, you don't need to worry about Disable anymore.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
It also
you can just pick whatever you want.
Opens the draft a little bit as well because you can be fairly versatile with it. So
yeah, for sure. You don't know what they're gonna do.
No.
Can be jungle Doom, can be an offlane Doom.
Yep.
We have even seen some Lion mid, mostly from Alliance though. That's probably not the best. It's still possible, you know. But
the Hans is not convinced by the Alliance mid.
it didn't
You
work.
went down a dangerous path there, my friend. You nearly tilted him in the corner there. He nearly came out again.
You know, it didn't work out at all, so I don't blame him.
Exactly. I saw that.
It didn't work out at all.
Good job, Black. Keep triggering the
Bans on Wyvern and Batrider.
feed it to the dark side.
What happened to you in that last
really has.
series?
But he's mad. He's
I don't
mad.
know about tilted. He's been turned.
really
That's what
has.
has actually happened.
I could be Palpatine. You can be my Darth Vader, and that's Anakin. Except opposite in age.
Oh my lord!
Nas, I'm your father.
Toby-Wan Kenobi comes back from the grave.
Okay, I'm done.
Hey, I think I know I said it before, but I think Puck's a pretty good pickup for Wings. I think Puck Lycan is like one of the really stronger duos.
They need control for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, because the biggest problem is that Digital Chaos have really good initiation, and while you do have the saving hero in the Dazzle, you want to make sure that you are always able to get off the Lycan ult and Necronomicon, and that sometimes requires a tempo controller to be able to instead be the ones initiating onto DC, and that's also just, again, a classic combo.
I mean, Puck is perfect for that. You ult like 2 heroes, and Lycan's just gonna shred them in 2 seconds, and they don't have any save right now, so...
I mean, what do you do? Like, even if, like, you're like, Hex! Like, doesn't matter. Necronomicon units just do whatever they want inside that Dream Coil. So, you're pretty much screwed. The Batrider and Dragon Knight were still smart bans by Digital Chaos.
I like that a lot.
I hope they have a plan, though.
Especially the DK.
Fuck.
I still think you can. I still think as Wings, you can go back for your. You can go back for your Tide. You can go back for your Ench. 2 heroes that. Again, it's funny because the last 2 games we've seen them run that combination. They've gotten pretty heavily punished for it. Haven't looked good with it, but I think I've seen enough out of them in the past running that hero combo that I really like it. There's interesting respect ban for the Wii Meepo.
Twice.
Yeah,
twice
it's been twice. They're obviously very worried about that.
And you should be. It really is. It's one of those where I don't know that the hero in general is that great right now, but
Wii is.
Dude, I've seen him play against like 5 counters in one game, like in a matchmaking game. He would just make it work anyway.
Yeah.
Like his micro is so spot on, and he knows what item to go against what lineup. He's just amazing on that hero.
I still think I know they have the Lycan, so a little bit less likely, but I still think you have to be really aware of the Husker out of Wings here.
Yeah. I mean, you could still run a solo mid Husker, or like even dual lanes, like Dazzle Husker mid. Perfectly fine.
Do you think they'd take it second phase, Alan?
They would last pick it.
Yeah, they'd last pick it
It's gonna
because,
be last,
especially
isn't it?
because AA is still on the table.
Yeah. You don't want AA against that. And Dazzle as well.
Yeah.
And they don't have last pick either, so
Yeah.
they either ban AA and then pick it, or they don't pick it at all.
Right.
Yeah, you want to talk about Huskar? Fourth pick goes out from Digital Chaos. It's not Ancient Apparition. You have a Gyrocopter carry.
Yeah.
I mean, it could
yeah.
work. But you know, Gyro against Lycan is like a double-edged sword, right? Like, if Lycan is really fat and you're poor, you just get shredded.
Yeah.
If it's the other way around, then you just shred him. Like, his Necros are going to be useless if you have BKB. Like, it just depends on how the early game goes with them.
And again, that's why we're talking about how important it is for Wings to have a tempo controller in their pocket to make sure that he can put pressure in the early game.
You think it's going to be an offlane shaker or support? Because they did run a lot of offlane shaker, I remember that.
I think offlane shaker actually has a lot of merits because they do need that initiation. And again, Gyrocopter is one of those heroes who's overly dependent on his BKB. If you can get the instant disable out, it can change the fight entirely. So I definitely wouldn't mind it by any means, especially if it means that Wings can go a greedy 4 position, or now they have to address it.
Man, this Timber is going to do some serious work.
Yeah.
They have 2 strength heroes already. Lycan is actually so bad against Timber.
Yeah.
It's like one of the worst heroes in the game.
Timber is just incredible. I think he's one of those heroes. I don't know that you're going to see him pick that much over the course of the event, but I think he's going to be very influential when he is picked. And I think, especially after what we saw Miracle do on that hero at Epicenter.
Yeah, he started the trend, right?
25 kills, all-time record for the hero. I just think you have to have a plan to deal with that because you're going to see it.
You do.
And first Timbersaw of the tournament. Potentially not the last, but as you said, not potentially going to be much of a pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's situational, but man, when you
personally, that's what I wanted to say. Like, Cold Snap is super good against Timbersaw because he can never chain out.
Right.
Like, as soon as you're in the air, you get mini stunned, and it complements the Lycan really well. And if it's actually the offlane shaker, you have incredible burst damage with the Sunstrike as well.
Yeah.
And the Invoker?
That is,
from the Invoker,
it's really important for you also to be able to have magic damage just because of the way that the Timbersaw operates with his reactive armor.
He does not want to get BKB. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Only if he's really forced to. And against Invoker, it's kind of like an auto force. You get Cold Snap, you're just useless. You can't even use your ult because you're just like kind of stuck in animation.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
And you combine the fact that Lycan is also in the pool. Lycan may not be very good against Timbersaw, but the Necronomicon is still going to be quite powerful. So if you're forcing him into a BKB already, it means there's going to be a lot of a lot of limited sustain options here for Timbersaw in these drawn-out fights.
And this is coming from the guy, by the way, in case our audience doesn't know this is coming from one of my favorite all-time Invoker players. The way when you used to run Invoker with Vici Gaming, you farmed very well on the hero, obviously, but Vici would run a lot of the same kind of pressure schemes occasionally that Wings did, and they were comfortable fitting Invoker into those schemes. And that was something that a lot of other teams at that point weren't comfortable doing with the hero.
Yeah, we definitely abused Invoker back then a lot, but like. I'm really sad it became a meta pick because I feel like it nerfed me as a player a lot too because everybody's getting used to the hero, you know. But that's what it is.
I mean, ESL won New York, man. You won that tournament with that hero.
Oh yeah. I remember the last game. I was sick.
All right.
Okay.
Too much positivity for Cap. I know. Come on.
No.
It's going to be an offlane Nyx and support shake. It has to be. Like support Nyx is actually really bad. Like support Nyx is not good at all.
It is. I also don't think Nyx Assassin offlane in this is particularly strong either.
Why did they pick it?
I mean,
Sunstrike pick off. Only reason?
Yeah, it's like when you see not the matchup where Dendy played it mid, but it's like when you see it picked up against Phoenix just cause.
Okay,
PO. So we've got 20 seconds. Gentlemen, down the line, who's had the best draft?
I just like DC's draft too much.
Okay.
Period.
Black?
DC.
Cap.
BN's playing Nyx Assassin. I'm gonna say DC has. Well, I like the Timbersaw. It's gonna have a rough game though, but then again, Wings picked up Nyx Assassin, and it's not mid Dendy. So.
Let's just say Shaker doesn't get blink. PL will just destroy them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
A lot of it comes down to
And that,
ice,
ladies
ice,
and
ice.
gentlemen, was them wrapping up quickly.
No problem.
Let's go to the commentary team for Game 2 to see whether DC can make it through to the upper bracket.
Absolutely, Paul. DC versus Wings, Game 2. We've just seen the draft, so we're getting ourselves ready to get into the action. Wagger, quick words. What are you expecting from this one?
Timbersaw is going to destroy his lane. I think so.
Okay. Well, let's see if that happens as we get ourselves into the action. And let's roll it, production. Let's get ourselves ready for DC versus Wings.
Wings Gaming versus Digital Chaos. Who will be victorious?
Absolutely. So, Timber, you're liking it, but at the same time, you're telling me in the draft, Wings, they have got ways to deal with the Timbersaw.
They do have good stuff against the Timbersaw later on. I think the lane, though, if he can just have a good laning experience here against the Lycan, that's a very favorable place to be. Shaker, of course, not having an easy time Fisher blocking either because the Timber Chain. I think they have a hard time shutting him down. Of course, the heal onto the Wolves is a combination they could use later on, but they need some level before that. So he has Howl on level 1.
This is going to
We'll
be
see.
interesting, the matchups as well. And obviously this mid lane matchup, the fact that he's picking up the PL this time round. I mean, this is a way that we've seen, kind of what over the past few lands or months been a solid way of laning against an Invoker.
It was roughly like 4 or 5 months ago that people started doing this, and it's such a strong lane for the PL. Invoker does not have fun against aggressive PLs. And he's going for the Aquila build on Invoker, so actually has the Wraith Band here. Despite the Aquila getting slightly nerfed, it's still a pretty good pickup. In combination with the Raindrop, you get very good mana regen. But this Timber pick kind of felt like a bait by DC. It's like, oh, it's a mid Timber, guys. Just look at, because everyone is playing mid Timber, and then they just pick PL afterwards. And they baited some good counter picks as well. The Nyx came out after Timber was picked, so maybe they have too much committed to shutting on Timber now, and PL and Gyro will have an easier time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked about PL in the laning situation, but as the game goes on, overall against Wings draft, is it a nice PL game?
I think so. I think it's pretty good game for it. Obviously the stun threat is there though. If you ever get fissured into a Nyx stun, then you can definitely get locked down, and that could happen to anyone. But I think PL should be playing pretty well from the lane.
Bottom lane, just having a bit of fun with Innocence, as Innocence does his best to harass him out. Sex is actually going to come down as well on the Doom to help out. Actually, eyes on Innocence. Innocence, well, he's going to be fine. Ice has come over as well. So they've got the full tri-lane down here at the moment. And this, of course, is going to be on the top lane. Nyx Assassin left alone against this duo of DC. And Resolution on that gyrocopter. We can expect to have a very good game indeed. Move bottom, just Timber chaining away. But yeah, the Resolution gyrocopter, as you were saying as well to me earlier, I mean, this is a hero that can suffer against a lot of the lineup of Wings if it does get behind.
It can, it definitely can, but I think he's having a quite easy lane here. There's no pressure being applied. It's nothing like the bottom lane. Just a solo Nyx. And sure, Nyx can be hard to harass away when he has that Horman shield, but he should be doing just fine. And we've seen Resolution farm so much before and then just coming in with all the items.
Losing
and
trouble. The Fishers caught him out post Timber Chain. They're going to try for the chase down, and the poison doing it. First blood there for Innocent.
I must say, him scaling up the Timber Chain on level 1, I think is a very strange choice when you're offlaning, because just 1 point in reactive armor is going to be so great already. And it would make him able to ignore the Dazzle a lot more. And sure, you don't have a tool to hook away from the Fisher, but I think he was respecting the Shaker too much putting this point in Timber Chain. He's not able to leech experience.
Mid lane as well, in terms of the CS, we can certainly see the edge that the PL is having. We are 11 for 4 against the 8 for 1. It's only slight, but it's certainly it's a good lane at the moment for the Phantom Lancer. And it looks like even though the Timber does go down bottom lane, he's drawing a lot of attention from the supports of Wings. So Blink, he's not getting any help in the mid lane.
Yeah, he really isn't, and Peel is quite easy to gank for as well, so I'm just looking towards when the Lion gets boot, then he can start rotating, but Mystery is not getting that much farm done up here. He's stacking and preparing to pull, but right now he's just being kept as a harass against the Nyx.
Moves, but look, Ice, he's waiting for the Timber Chain. He's actually going to come a little bit late that time. We could see him just kind of cancel casting the Fisher. He's trying to time it so he gets it you know,
Very
just,
hard.
just enough to catch me, which he did earlier. But as you said, it's not going to be the easiest thing to do.
No, very hard to do when you're right next to him, when he sees you. In Fog of War, maybe you could do it a little bit more reliably. We see Saksa actually acting as a creep on the mid lane. Just standing there dancing. That's beautiful. Doing the tornado dance on the Doom.
Well, considering the last couple of waves as well in the mid lane, Blink's actually caught himself back up. He's 17 for 6. He's now ahead at the PL. So, all things considered, we are, you know, he's not crushing the Invoker. He's managed to just keep the trades even.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job on the Invoker. The thing is that his HP is very low. Oh, trying here with the
Get
Fissure
away
to get
with
some
this
damage. Cancel a bottle as well. That's pretty good. But his HP is going to be very low quite often here from just the spam of lands. But unless the... Oh.
One more Rocket Barrage. They don't want to go for it. Yeah, there's still a Spike Carapace available. They can't afford to dive the tower.
Oh, TP top by Dazzle. That leaves Lycan 1v1 against Timbersaw. If he gets 1 point in the Whirling Death, he can definitely lane quite well against that. But he's going to go 2 points reactive here. It's going to be really hard to kill with physical damage.
This mid lane, there's still people eyeing up Weeha. There's 3 heroes really trying to do something. Cold Snap into the Fish, into the Poison Touch. He'll get the chance for Doppelganger.
No
Weeha's
Sunstrike
out.
though. 5 seconds. He might still try for it if he feels...
Do you think he does?
Oh, I think
Here
he
we
should.
go.
Just try for it. God. No. He's got farming to do. It's no point doing it if you're going to be last standing creeps on the lane. He would have to back up to do it, and then it's just too obvious.
Bottom lane, I think, you know, Mu realized the fact that he did have a bit of space lane against the Leica, but now the rotation has come back in, and Mu, he is fairly deep. We'll see what the combination of this Shaker and the Dazzle can do to control this man, but with 2 points in the reactive, as you said,
I don't
it's
think
going to be hard.
I don't think they killed the Timber when he has level 4 and the Poor Man's Shield. It's going to be really difficult. So despite him dying early on, I think he's still doing pretty good down here now. And a lot of that comes from the aggression on top lane. Very aggressive under the tower, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. He does not have a care in the world. Maybe with the TP and he's going to be in trouble.
Yep.
The 4th member coming through. The Sunstrike's going to miss. The Fisher's down. There's your stun control from Bjarna's. He'll come in with a perfect TP.
Effectively 5 people trying to kill him.
And it's needed. I mean,
it is. It is. Of course, the Sunstrike not contributing, but still, that Nyx rotation now, nobody's top, and the push is on. Gyrocopter's starting to go towards the tower. Sometimes being the offlane player is not about not dying a single time and looking amazing on scoreboard. It's about creating space. Take a page out of the old Trixie book or ROTK, whoever you want to prefer.
lane. Wait. Just continue to maintain his authority, and it continues to be this kind of very, very close in terms of trades. Move. Just forcing Shadow away, trying to slow down the farm. Obviously, considering the 2 deaths, it's not really worked out too greatly. You know, Lycan is still top of the CS board. He's 37 for 50.
He is, but he can't really stay alone down here against the Timber, and that's the important dynamic, because now they need to keep someone else down here, and they need to react to the push top. They're already losing this tower, so DC are in control of what they want to do right now, despite being, you know, behind in 2 plays.
One more wave when Resolution's going to have the cooldown, so as soon as Wings themselves start to go for aggressive plays around towers, we can expect Resolution to be there with the reaction and with the just the combo of the Gyrocopter, which can disrupt any kind of you know, aggressive movement that passes a tier 1 in the earlier stages.
But we'll see what Wings want to do now. They want to use the Lycan ulti, might use it bottom. Because they're leaving bottom with Nyx. I think he should just be farming down there until he gets level 6. He's not going to be farming very effectively, though.
It's very hard to do anything really against Moose Timber at the moment. Just a bit of a brick wall there as it sits in the lane.
3 points in the reactive armor.
You just can't trade harass with this man.
This skill build really shows me that he has one plan in mind. He wants to stay on the lane. He does not want to roam and gank. He doesn't want to contribute across the map. He just wants to force people down here and still be able to farm, and that's the goal. And I think it's a good way to play it if you're going to be off lane. If you're mid, you would never put this many points into reactive, because then you need to fight early. But this is working out good for him, I think.
I think that's kind of the beauty as well of the PL Gyro kind of dual core. You know, one of them can look to fight early, the other one can farm, and then essentially gets to the point of the game where both are going to be very strong lane
Here comes
forces.
the wing rotation to top lane. Lycan ulti is used. They want to go in.
And they're going to make a beeline straight for, who are they going to find?
Lion,
yeah,
just
down
a tower
past
dive.
the tower. They are going to dive it. Sunstrike coming out as well. Misery gets the stun to hold it back. He's going to have to buy some time for himself. Hex as well. Oh, he's going for the TP and he might just make it. Misery, he's out of there.
He says, not today. I'm not going to die again.
Great play from Misery. And wasted time for Wings. Very nicely done there by Misery.
Yeah, deep tower dive, and that's the difference right now is that Shadow lost a lot of HP for this, and Resolution still farming away happily. So he is 700 ahead right now in gold. Of course, they took a tower, so that's in his favor as well. But the CS already 61 to 44 between the two carries. And bottom lane aggression here from Timber. Starting to put some hurt now that he has the mana boots.
I mean, this really is the thing. We saw them obviously be able to kill Mood twice earlier. The question is, how do you kill him now?
Oh.
And how much do you want to offer to killing him? I guess you really don't. But at the
He
same
has
time,
4
he's-
points in armor.
Yeah.
He just wants to play under tower. He could definitely still die again, but it would be by so many people rotating, I think, that it might not even be worth killing him. But you have to do something. This is not okay.
I mean, he just does not care, Mood.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to.
No, he's fine. He's
Yeah.
got that armor going. 67% damage resistance.
He's just casually tanking the tower.
As
I
we
mean-
see the smoke in as well, coming in behind the tower mid. Going for that invoker. Can they get him?
Let's see if they do. Yeah, here we have it. I mean, this is the action that we can expect from a Resolution Gyrocopter. 9 minutes in with these kind of rotations and huge ones as well, as you said, taking down Invoker and then being able to push down onto a tier 1. It's a very, very smart move from Digital Chaos.
Very good. And again, this comes from the space that's being created. People are being held down here on bottom lane. There's no way Nyx is going to rotate. The Dazzle was also very occupied. And Moo has built out an
Look at this.
appetite here,
It's like, all right.
as he has 2 mangoes coming out,
You want
shipping
someone
out.
Oh, has he got mangoes?
Yeah, he's got mangoes.
Oh, he's got
They're
mangoes. Mango delivery. Here we are. He doesn't even need the mangoes.
Yeah,
He'll send them back.
It's a great thing against the mana burn, though, from Nyx. Oh, he's going to eat one, both actually immediately. He's hungry. All right, then.
All right. I mean, he's deserved it after that.
he has.
He's just been
Pat on the back. Have
absolutely.
a mango.
Moo the mango man. And DC, they'll find themselves another tier 1. And even though it's 2-2 on the scoreboard, it just certainly feels like it's DC's momentum here that's
The third
overriding
tower.
Wings.
3 towers in a row, and we're talking about playing against Lycan. Lycan, Dazzle, Invoker, they want to take towers, not lose them. So this is definitely not going the way Wings want. And if you lose the momentum here, Doom is sliding up there. He's above the Invoker in net worth.
That's not good.
That's not okay.
No.
So something needs to happen, but I'm not sure how Wings are going to break this. The Timber is going to be relentless on bottom lane. They're going for the mid gank.
Oh, with the Sunstrike and stun. Oh, slam to the face. Everything coming down. I mean, they needed to throw it.
Yeah, that was a good gank.
Yeah.
But
Very
they
good
need to
kill.
get some tower pressure as well. Sadly, the heroes that ganked were all the heroes that do not have so much push. They need the Forge Spirits, they need the Lycan. In fact, they don't have the double Forge yet. He needs level 9.
And this is the thing as well. You gank the PL, but you know Jara's just going to get the space to continue to farm. You could try and go for Resolution, but at this point, this man's looking pretty fat. You know, 5.6k net worth at 11 minutes in. He's very much ahead of the game at this point.
And this is looking actually more controlled than what DC were doing last game. Last game it felt a little bit like a cheese, you know, just saying, oh, we're only gonna 5-man, you can't do anything. Here it looks like they have a very good strategy against what Wings have drafted. It's very much designed against that, and they're just playing it beautifully.
Resolution could be in a bit of trouble here. He is on his own. Innocence on the sideline. You've got the rotation coming through as well. He needs to...
Oh, he's going aggressive. That could be bad. Could be bad.
He is got to be very, very careful. There's already a TP coming across from the line, but Misery, I don't think he gets here in time. Resolution will drop the cooldown, but it doesn't matter. Wings get away with the kill. And this time it's a mistake from DC and Resolution more specifically that Wings capitalize on, and they do find that big high-value kill. And that was the mid lane. Weeha. Be a bit
They do
careful.
have a Fissure, but it's not going to be enough on its own as the Impale is on cooldown. But definitely, Resolution got baited by Innocence there. He's like, oh, just a Dazzle? I'll kill him. And then he got way too greedy.
That would be the exact kind of plays that's going to allow Wings to get themselves on top of this one. DC have got to be careful.
Yeah, and Weeha went for the Treads build, not the Travels Rush on his PL. So he's trying to be stronger at fighting and doesn't really care about playing across the map because the Timber has bottom on lock anyway. He's just keeping that lane pushed in and farming it on his own. I don't think he needs Travels early here.
Yeah, this is kind of as well one of the things I like about seeing the Timber in the off lane rather than the mid. The fact that you can do this, and it doesn't matter if you're not necessarily getting the item time. You're still just being such a nuisance, and you're still going to find the progression. But at the same time, you've still got 2 other cores that are just going to transition a little bit later, later and a lot better than you as the game goes on.
Oh, Ice got caught out here as the ward saw him run in behind the tower. So very good word on the lane by DC. And then, of course, easy play from there.
It's certainly been, as you said, just a much more calm game than game 1. But
And DC controlling their towers beautifully.
yeah, that's the thing as well. Not a single one to drop.
And that's going to be hurting so much for the economy of a team that goes Vlad's first and wants to push with Lycan, but just unable to do so. Bottom and top are just constantly at their 2 towers.
Radiant's top tower is under
I mean, because of the way that this game's going, if you are the Lycan, do you change the way that you build in terms of items because of the fact that you've not been able to start to take those towers early? You're going to have to build more for fights, or do you still have to kind of commit to the very kind of push?
I think
heavy build?
Necrobook is good for both pushing and fighting, and the D-wards become even more important when you're behind, so Necrobook still makes sense to me as an item, but maybe you have to go BKB straight away after that. Other than that, it's just going to delay the timings. It's not about changing the item build. It becomes too late. He doesn't have the first Necrobook, and we're talking 14 minutes in as Lycan. Sad timing for him.
I mean, okay, look at that stat.
Pretty
yeah.
good.
It's pretty good.
But they have a very
Pretty
good,
good.
They have a very good track record going into
They
this
do,
because
and
they had
that's all against NA teams.
exactly
That is
going into
that's an NA win rate.
going into the Manila Major. They had 18 wins in the last 20 games, but all of them were against American teams. So
And in the qualifiers as well.
exactly. So it's a little bit skewed.
The qualifiers. And well, mate.
A lot of qualifiers.
Good pick up onto move, but the Sunstrike as well. They've got a chance at it again. Nice eyes. I mean, this
Always.
man with the kill securing Echo Slams.
Yeah, he's there. Last time he didn't even get it, so maybe that's why he's like, this time for sure.
This is mine.
They do have a great kill potential when they do this, but they don't have a follow-up. They take a
They've just
tower,
used
but they
everything.
blow everything, yeah. And then what? DC can just be happy with that. Okay, we died, but does it really stop that much? Sure, Timber's dead for a little while. And they're actually looking to fight now with ultis on cooldown. Vanguard on Doom. That's such a fat support Doom.
Going on to Wii with the Meteor. In fact, the control, they're going to
Oh, they
find it.
got
That's
him.
the PL down. The Resolution is over the turn. Gets the cooldown out. It's going to be the keeping the Knicks alive for the time being, but he'll still fall down. And the side of DC, they're moving in for more. Doom on to Blink. They need to bring the rest of the side in around to get the damage through, but a lovely
great
Fisher holding back the Gyrocopter. Saxa throws out the purple balls, but it doesn't matter. In fact, he could be in trouble. They'll turn around. Misery, gets the finger out, taking down Blink on the Invoker. Can they keep Saxa alive? Yes, they can. With the stun, Misery with the blaze, keeping Saxa alive. Now Resolution closes in. They'll take down the Dazzle as well.
Saxa does die in the end, but
Misery's play, just doing his best to keep and buy a lot of space for the team.
well done by both teams in that team fight, in fact. The very important kill on the PL there, getting him immediately. And then Move's going to be happy to farm up on the mid lane. As a tower at least went down in the favor of Wings.
So we can see the gold certainly favours the side of DC, but yeah, that was, I believe, before the tower kind of was considered. But the fact that Misery gets his blink as well done after that fight. But Misery talking about the man straight away. Vendetta is real from Nyx.
Good thing he gets the Link Dagger purchase off before dying, at least. But yes, Weehaw going down very quickly there. They were baiting with him, but probably didn't expect to get bursted so hard. The chain stun is very dangerous from Wings. Nyx and Shaker doing a great job. Also, a Fisher block was really well done.
Yeah, really nice play.
And it's hard to play Shaker in this stage of the game. He doesn't have Blink, he has to position really well and just read the movements, and everyone on DC is so fast. So he has to really predict what's going to happen.
See this movement as well from Wings. They want to keep the action going.
Yes, they're looking for something. At least they got a ward down. It's a very good mentality to have. If you're going to smoke for kills, you should also bring wards and just drop ward in places the enemy won't expect. Then at least, even if you don't find a kill, it's going to be worth it.
Looks like they indicate they want to move into the jungle. Ready with the Vendetta. They can kill Wii again. I mean, they managed to take him down a couple of times. See what Beyond wants to do with the lead in there. Fisher to set it up. Closing on to Wii. Oh, the stun's going to miss. Wii's going to be fine.
He wanted to get the Vendetta hit and then the stun set
the
up for a
greedy play.
Sunstrike. Actually, Invoker gonna die, so Sunstrike would not be there anyway. Tried to Yules himself to save, but
That was the Misery Blink Dagger reveal there, catching him off guard. Mid lane, Fish on to move. They're continuing to fight here. Wings with the Necro push down. They'll rip through the Doom. They'll find one. No, he's actually so getting off. So rip through the move on the Timbersaw. And now the turnaround from DC is they'll punish the Dazzle. Double kill for Resolution, and Saxa looking to chase down for more. Looking for Ice Eyes.
Misery is chasing.
Turns around, stun. Only going to catch Misery. He's got the blink back up in 5 seconds, so they should be able to catch someone out here. Misery will jump forward almost certainly and catch out Ice Ice on the Shaker. DC.
it's a
finding
painful
themselves
death as
at
well.
third.
He's so close. He wants to save up money for his Blink Dagger, losing 300 gold there.
Oh, the
Really
Nick.
hurts.
And look at Beyond, he's still stuck in the jungle. He's
yeah.
trying to hide.
I'm not sure about this.
You can't hide from Misery, especially when he's playing as he is this game on the line.
There's
3-1-6 on his line.
Yep. Misery was tanking quite a few Lion ultis in the last game. Now he's going to be the one dishing them out.
Yeah, it's an absolute performance.
Payback time. But Wings do still have one thing going for him, and that's the Lycan who has not died a single time in this game. That's quite impressive. And he is keeping up with the Gyrocopter as well. So now with Necro 3, maybe they can start taking more towers and map control, because their ganks are definitely working out well for them. I think the stun combinations, sure, it didn't work in the last time walking into enemy jungle, but Invoker was also getting ganked at the same time, so it was never going to work out. But I think now around the Necro 3, you're quite strong.
I think kind of the issue as well, it seems, I mean, if you look at the individual heroes' net worth, the fact that the 3 poorest on the side of Wings, they are a fair bit behind their respective kind of counterparts on DC.
Exactly.
There's a real difference on the lower half of this graph.
Oh yeah. Another way to phrase it is that DC's poorest heroes, 5,300. Both their supports are farming so much. This Lion is really happy. The Doom is even happier. It's just a great place to be right now, DC.
Maybe they can find something top. Resolution on his own at the moment.
And he's closing up on that BKB as well. Just 800 golds off. He gets scanned out.
Well, they have scam out. Maybe that they might be scared that there may be more hiding.
Definitely. And they were actually on the way in a smoke. So they're pretty correct that there is more coming in at least. And they're waiting very long here. I don't think they should go anymore.
They've got to be so careful about trying to throw a fight here, Wings.
They could send out the Nyx with his... Oh, he actually doesn't have ulti.
Innocence in a bit of trouble. Misery with the initial control. Beautiful timing, and in with the slap down. Dazzle, could he keep himself alive? Does manage to get the grave off.
Yeah.
But no escape here for
He
Dazzle.
knows. He knows the
is a
jig's
goner.
up.
And more gold towards, as you were saying, the Jar's BKB Resolution now just, what, 400 gold away from that one. And, I mean, BKB against Wings lineup, that's pretty huge. I mean, yes, there's still a bit of physical damage, but at this point of the game, considering the lack of items that Wings have, you know, that BKB's pretty much making you invulnerable.
It's going to be great. The big counter to the BKB is going to be a Blink Shaker, being able to disable from the Fog of War, chain stunning with the ulti, and Lycan bringing him down with physical DPS. That's going to be the threat. Bottom, Nyx actually being revealed here. There's a sentry on the ground, and I don't think he knows.
Misery's going to find the vision now here. He did get the Carapace out in time, and that is going to buy some time for them to turn around. But nice stun, Sunstrike as well. Now moving forward though, DC, they don't care. They want to fight hard into Wings. They'll burst down the Nyx Assassin with the Timber Chain on the sidelines. Oh, again, these Echo Slams catching Wee off. Crimson Guard coming out, Wee, he's going to be fine. Kept alive by his teammates. Wings losing 2.
Kept alive by his teammates, and earlier actually kept his Lion alive by standing close enough for the Sunstrikes. Unintentional maybe, but still keeping Misery safe.
It was all intended.
Of course.
Misery, come close to him.
The big plans.
Absolutely, but 13 for 9. It's certainly looking like this game, there's more of a chance here for Wings than there was in game 1. It certainly feels, but still,
there is,
DC are playing very, very well.
There's more chance, but at the same time I feel that DC are playing cleaner. They have a very good intention with their draft, I feel, and just executing what they want to do. So the fact that everyone on their team is getting farm in a pretty good rate, and they have Gyro up there, I definitely worry for Wings if the game just continues this way. Bloodstone up.
Yeah, it's been a really nice game for me as well. I mean, he has died a few times, but as you said at the early, he was just kind of tanking.
A lot of those were early deaths as well.
That was the thing. Yeah, I believe he's only died once since he kind of had the space that he was given.
And I honestly don't think that his deaths were costly at all compared to all the rotations that he forced. Sometimes offlane is just like that. You can justify your feed by saying he created space.
I mean, as we can see, as we talked, a
Oh,
lot of
Lycan
this is
ulti.
just heavily weighted on the performance of the Lycan and the Invoker this game as they're up there. And I can see Shadow moving in onto Resolution, but again, Misery with the stun to hold back Shadow. Is he
He
beyond?
might be the one to.
Sneaky, 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 looking for Misery, and they will catch him out. He's going to get bursted down by the Sunstrike. DC using Misery for the time being. Will they lose anything more? They're going to see Moo. Eyes onto Ice.
Yeah, running into Ice here.
Try
He's
for a minute,
so
but
close to his Blink
Top
Dagger.
lane is what we are and Saxa. They want to go in for this fight. Wing moving in onto Shadow. He's got the Diffusal Blade, and yeah, the Doom's dropped down. This is going to be a big pick. Lycan, Shadow, one of the best performers at the moment on the side of Wing, and he is going to go.
Definitely. And Timbersaw cannot be brought down by a Nyx and Shaker alone. They cannot kill him. And
Moo can kill the
no.
Shaker.
Shaker. He has to go for a Blink. Buy it. He got it.
Oh, bam!
That was a very,
Sax with a Hadouken to the face.
that was a very important last second buy there.
Moo's not done as well. He's been watching some miracles.
He has.
He has. He's just a gamer now.
Bloodstone is filling up. Oh, or is it gonna drain empty?
Kill yourself, Moo.
Oh no,
Go on,
cold snap.
Kill yourself.
It's not good.
He needs to kill himself.
No, he's
He'll kill
okay.
himself.
He does it. He listens to you.
But nonetheless, yeah, DC again, finding 3 kills. Getting that Lycan kill as well, that was a big one. Because he is top of the board. He's, as I said, you know, a lot of this power is invested in both the Lycan and the Invoker. You know, Blink and Shadow, they're the people carrying the value at the moment for the side of Wings. So if you're killing them,
It really
you're
is.
in a really good place.
The downside, of course, for Wings is that having only 2 really farmed heroes against the Doom, that's going to be hard going into mid and later stages.
Oh, hello.
Nyx.
Will BKB in for that one. Goes to Spike Cappers now.
Yeah, he's like, I'll trade my BKB charge for a solo kill. That's going to be fine.
Did you see that though? Nyx, he did manage to buy the BK. He managed to buy the Blink before he died.
One more time.
Literally another situation where the Blink comes out just before the death.
Sometimes you have to die to achieve something, I guess. But these guys gonna have very beautiful chain stun coming in.
Oh, if Wings get away with this, this could be the play. Heading into Roshan. I mean, are DC going to be aware of this at all?
I don't think so, but they're walking in with Moo.
Yeah.
Oh, he sees Ice. Or Ice.
Outside,
Yep.
just chilling outside the pit. A bit of a bodyguard. Yeah, they're going to try and fight this DC. Already their Roshan's falling low.
They're too late, maybe? Is he gonna get the Timber Chain steal?
Can he do anything?
He could.
Yes. Oh, it's Moo going to go for the play. It's falling low. Sax coming in all. Okay, no, it's taken down with the Radiant, and Invoker did manage to grab the Aegis, but it's all kicking off. DC heading into the pit. Innocence go for the great TP out. He'll be out of that one. Blink, he's going to get taken down, but he's going to be ready for the second round. Ice, can he do anything to help him? No, because Misery, he's got eyes on the Shaker on the sidelines. Blink using himself up, but DC, the 3-man surrounding the
Eyes walk.
Invoker. Oh, they've got detection.
There's nothing.
They've not got detection. All right, Blink. He's rumbled them at the same time. Bottom lane, Beyond came in and helped turn it around, taking down Misery.
And
Sax is
mid
coming
lane.
in, looking for the punish, trying to kill the Shaker. He'll find the kill with the Doom. Resolution will chase down Beyond.
And
No, the Blink.
Weehaw killing off the Lycan as well, and the chase just continues here as well.
Oh my goodness.
Now it's just on to pushing mid, and Nyx is running for his life here.
Run, next run.
He has to get out of this one. Perch.
Oh.
No, he doesn't have it. Still has the caller.
Do
They
it.
might get
look,
him,
look at
though.
these jukes though. Oh,
Yeah,
Beyond.
beautiful play. And he has the Carapace,
I
so
think he's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, he's definitely fine.
Yeah. All right, the space created. And meanwhile,
Innocence?
what?
Oh, the Hadouken! Oh!
Mega kill for Saxa. But I mean, yeah, Innocence just killed PL.
Yeah.
Underestimating the heal.
There's
right,
too
hang
much
on.
action. It's
Yeah,
Wings games. It's
Wings
everywhere.
games. Absolutely.
We have so many cameras in the game, and we can't find all the action.
We don't have enough cameras.
No, we need one for every Wings player.
We need to borrow some from those educational sites.
Yes.
We do. I mean, it's all kicking off. Item pickups galore coming out. Blink Dagger now done on Moo. You've got Yags finished on Blink. It's going to get even more chaotic. And with plays like that as well, you know, Wings, if they can kill Weehard just like that, you got to be worried if you're DC, because you can't let that happen in mid lane. Well, Saxa, he's going to juke out the stun. Nice
might still
side
get
step.
him, though.
Sunstrike,
Or-
not going to be on point. He dodges the weather today, and the Doom's out.
Yeah. Too bad. Too bad on that Nyx stun. Always hard.
Well,
Wings are definitely showing a lot of signs of life, though, playing on the entire part of the map, and
Misery wants to finger someone.
he does. He's
Now
going for Lycan.
Oh, that's a beautiful stun just on the backside of Shadow. And the slide by, drive by, but the Fisher onto 2. Ice Ice, he's moving in for the Echo Sound, will find it. We are there with the backup, sliding across with the Timber Chain, bursting down. There's your finger from Misery to kill Ice Ice. As Shadow gets himself into a doggy dog and runs himself the hell out of there. They will lose Misery in return, though, as I believe the Necro
Those
units
super
did end up
Necro
pulling him
books.
out. Yeah.
Extra fast, extra strong. Lycan will.
Shadow.
So good. Well, turns out to be a pretty good trade for Wings there. I thought they were
This
going
is-
to lose to
yeah.
Lycan for sure, but
I really thought these
Shaker
last
on
kind of
point.
few little kind of scrappy trades. It's
Oh, yeah.
Wings are doing all right off the back of them.
That's what Wings have as their trademark, but they're still struggling and falling behind though. There's so much of an experience disadvantage for them. It's actually insane. I didn't realize, but they're 14,000 experience behind in this game.
My goodness.
Of course, they haven't been leading the game, and of course, you know, they have some signs of life, but they're behind. I didn't expect them to be that far behind.
Yeah. Looking for an aggressive play here. DC, no one down towards the bottom. Oh, if he finds the curry though. Oh, is this curry
wants
got
it.
anything on? We need the curry, Cam.
Oh,
There we have- oh, he's got Eagle Soul! Oh, he's got Eagle Soul!
oh no.
Oh,
That, yeah.
oh, that is
That is a very big deny.
all right. Beyond.
And the butterfly is a very important item as well against this Lycan for survivability. So, sad times.
Oh, man, this is really starting to step up this game. Beyond, of course, starting to work on his Aghanims on top of the Blink Dagger. Point booster and 500.
Yeah, and full Solar Crest now for Dazzle as well, going up from that medallion. Very good item here. The Peel and Gyro, of course. Oh, it's smoking time, it looks like, on the side of DC. They're pinging and hugging. It's happening.
How long till Misery's fingers back?
Oh,
He's
1
still
second.
on a- 1 second, beautiful. Finger time.
Every time the ultis are off cooldown. Works pretty well, the Doom and the Lion combinations, as the ultis are similar.
Let's see if they can find. They might find Shadow. I mean, Shadow would be a perfect pick if they can catch off the Lycan. And Shadow's going to be very fortunate with the way that he's moving. In fact, they themselves are going to look for a smoke. It's going to be a smoke on smoke.
Ships in the dark again.
Here we
I've
have
seen
it.
this before today.
Let's see if Wings are a little bit more fortunate with the way that they move compared to how DC came around. And
It does look pretty
this
good
is
for him
good.
right now.
this is, if they can wrap around, get on the high ground, even if it's a Saxa kill, it's something better than DC were able to find.
That Invis on Doom, though, they have no detection on Wings apart from the Necrobook.
Let's see how far they wrap around. Still got to work. It doesn't look like they can have long enough left on this smoke.
Yeah, and this ward here is going to reveal them if they
Oh,
pop
you
under.
guys were there.
Yeah. They're hiding outside it, though, for now. But in the...
Oh, they
they're-
keep away from it. Yeah, they might find the kill mid.
Mids.
Resolution. No, he's being careful as well.
No, they're drawing. They're right here.
Saxa. Coming across, Saxa.
Has to be careful, but
Still got a bit
again,
of time with the Invis.
no sentries and no dusts here. Just Necrobooks
Oh,
to
if
worry
they can
about.
get a fight where he leads with a Doom onto the Dazzle,
Yep.
that could be a very nice fight for them to take, and that might be exactly what they do. Straight up, jumping for the burst. They don't even need the Doom. They're just going to allow him to try and burst it down. They get it with the ultimate there. The Doom's been dropped onto the Nyx, so they'll find themselves a second kill. Yes, they'll get it.
2 for nothing, and they're going to head down straight towards the mid with that.
And again, one of these fights is just off the back of the fact that Saxa have that Invis. You know, setting that up for the side.
And more
Shadow.
importantly, Bloodstone charges. Super
Yes.
important for a Timbersaw player. He just needs this to snowball into mid game. So, mid tower being pressured. PO doesn't have travels yet, so he's not going to be there for sure. But he already was there pushing a lot in the last fight, so tower really low. Already done.
And we're going to see as well in 15 seconds, obviously Flurry being back up. Eagle Song will be there for resolution. He's picked up the quarter star, just
Yeah.
a few hundred away from the completed butterfly. And then you look at the side of Wings, no one's going to have any way to deal with that evasion anytime soon.
No, not this early. It's way too early to really counter that. Only 31 minutes into the game and not having great farm either, so it will be difficult. And I wonder if this Invoker is going for an aggressive Hex build or if he goes for Lincolns. Probably just Lincolns against Doom and Lion,
Yes.
I assume. They do have good stunts, so maybe they don't need a Hex into that. And there it is, Lincoln's Sphere recipe picked up.
So Butterfly now done. I mean,
Delivered.
there you have it. Beautiful cam action. But I guess the question is, if you're DC, you've got this Butterfly, you've got these big items, but the way that the game's gone, do you actually yourselves look to force it, or at this point are you saying we've got to take it a bit safer, we've got to kind
farm
of
your
wait this out
ancients.
and just farm up?
Farm your Ancients and just
Yep.
go for the next Roche. You want to fight with the Aegis for
Okay,
sure.
yeah, for the next second.
If you have Aegis on the PL and you're disfarmed on your gyrocopter, then you can just go confidently. Wings, though, on the other hand, they still want to look for something with the Nyx, and all this time is effectively downtime for him. If there's no fights going on, he doesn't farm, he doesn't do anything, whereas the entire DC lineup is doing something all the time.
Certainly So is the case at the moment, mid lane. They try and look for some action. They want to go on Weeha. They jump in. This was done no. The doppelganger keeps himself safe.
Interesting they went for a Hood of Defiance in this game. He's just like, no, there's too much magic damage. I do not like the Nyx and the Shaker and the Invoker. I go for the Hood.
I mean, I guess that's what it is. For the price as well, it's a great value item in that sense. And
It
it means
is.
that he doesn't have to commit to a BKB.
Ever since they added the barrier on the Hood itself, it's a great cost-efficient item. If you have an inventory slot to buy it, go for it. And the pipe is going to be pretty awesome for him later on. They could also go for a secondary pipe on the Doom, and that's
Yeah, and
going
have
to
them
be very,
stacked up
very
in the
effective
fights, The extra barrier.
if they want to. But I think the PL might not complete the pipe at all. He's probably just going to go into full Scotty and play from there.
Oh, look at this as well. Tree cam at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
B1 with the
eyes.
trees. He is
He
very
believe-
lonely on that part
He
of the map.
believes he is a tree.
Listening to a wise man.
As when they're looking to try and bait something with the Dazzle up top, but DC, they're not going to send anyone up there.
No, really not.
So
They don't have anyone on that side of the map even, so they're
that's right.
definitely
I saw
safe.
he's having a bit of a timeout.
Patience.
Soon he will move.
He should rename himself Patience. He'll have patience and innocence.
Absolutely. That would be top. See mid lane. Weeha and Blink.
Looking a little bit aggressive now with the Lion. Trying to lead for something. Probably going to force the hag on it. Oh!
Misery, look, he just jumped straight in.
A little bit later on the sentry there, but he's going to get away with Nyx. Sneaky Nyx.
Dire's
It's only a hard catch. Ever since that Nyx picked up the Blink Dagger,
Mhm.
it's very, very hard for him to get.
But I think
On top of
DC are fine with that. They don't need to catch anyone right now because they have Peel and Gyrocopter and Doom.
Exactly.
They're in
they have-
such a great spot for late game.
And yeah, it's just only going to get better and better. It really is.
Obviously, there will still be some threat from Wings in terms of chain stunning and then having Lycan and Invoker going to town. So you're not going to be guaranteed safe, but you will be in a good position as long as you don't mess up the big team fights.
And it really is just down to, yeah, as you said, just DC making sure they don't make any mistakes at this point. Just keeping the game flowing as it is. And making sure Wings can't kind of fight their way around them. You can see in the net worth, it's really started to continue favouring the side of DC over 10k now. The
And
XP,
now
of course, stayed the same, 20k.
Roshan having respawns. They're scouting with the Wolf, but gets killed off. DC should definitely be looking towards taking this 5,000 gold on Gyrocopter, by the way. I think he could go for the entire MKB next if he wants to. He could go
Yeah,
Satanic, but I would love to see some damage on him.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if he goes Satanic right now, they are lacking in the damage department quite a bit. Of course, Timber does bring a lot of pure damage, but
Yeah, he's moving the curry out, actually. You see what he does. Well, yeah, he's got it ready.
well, it could be the.
That's going to be Scardy. Okay,
Oh, it's
so
actually a Scotty
yeah,
for the
Gyro.
Gyro.
I mean, I was expecting that one Weeha.
Definitely, when I saw the Orb of Venom was Resolutions, I had to take a double check, but it's definitely a good build.
Yeah.
I mean, when he gets to Satanic now, he's gonna be at what 3.5k HP. It's gonna be really hard to bring now.
Yeah, and I guess it was one of the weaknesses. Obviously, with the BKB, you can deal with the magical, but as you said, you're still worried about what the Lycan getting in your face. Suddenly, with a Skadi and a Butterfly, the Lycan's not going to do that much against you.
No, really not. And he's so far away from ever having the MKB.
Yeah.
With the build he's going for, the Assault Cuirass. You can't blame him. You have to go for this build.
mean,
This is the standard, like so.
Just look at the stats. I mean, he's got 30 armor and 3k HP. That's
Yeah.
a great place to be in a game that's only 36 minutes short.
Yeah, definitely. So it's gonna be hard to bring down O. They saw Weeha, but it's gonna be safe just backing out. Wings, so sneaky right now. So sneaky.
Can they take down Resolution immediately with the BKB? He's not messing. Run away on Shadow.
Okay.
Doom gets dropped from Saxa onto the Dazzle on the sideline. Shadow trying to come back in with the control. They'll take down Misery. Misery buys back immediately. Shadow focuses on to moves. A nice Fisher catching him out post Timber Chain. They'll take down a second. Jumping forward. The stun is going to catch the doggy dog. But coming in with the Echo Slam. Ice Eyes looking for the turnaround. Finger comes through as well. They've lost the Lycan. Blink flying in the
Beautiful
cover for
fight.
the sidelines. Bursting down Resolution incredibly low. He will keep himself alive. We jumps in. Saxon's falling low, but it doesn't matter. Ice Eyes can't finish him off. They've lost 3 on Wings, and now we moving in for more. Bian, he's out of mana. He's out of luck as well. Nick's assassin down.
Oh, he's
Triple
still going.
kill for the
Sunstrike.
PL. And Blink with the control. Look at Resolution.
Oh.
He's too damn speedy here with his phase boots. Right his little gyrocopter
Oh,
away.
the nerves got to him, sadly. The Yule Sunstrike combo, he messes it up. But wow, Wings just showing their potential there in that fight. Really far behind with a worst team fight lineup in general here, and they just make it look so good for a while there.
And the fact
So
that
close to getting
Resolution
Gyro.
survived, as you said, yeah.
Oh, he should have
Maybe
died.
that would have been the kind of like, all right, they got it, but...
That was a
Resolution.
massive slam by the Echo Shaker.
And a really, really key buyback from Misery as well.
Yeah, he
Buyback
just barely
immediately
gets...
and allows them to get that kill on the life.
Yeah. That timing on the stun, because I think the BKB just ran out on Lycan as well, so it was very, very clutch, that stun. And this is going to be Aegis going the way of DC. That fight looked very shaky though. Could have gone either way.
Oh, Shaker did get in a good echo, so... It was a little bit shaky. Not shaky enough. 27 to 15. DC, off the back of that fight, still maintaining this position. But they've certainly been able to kind of just consistently hold ahead of Wings. But at the same time, we are seeing, you know, there is the potential for this Lycan and Invoker to do work, but it's just the fact that the backliners of DC are so strong as well. And we're seeing as well, just the positioning of Misery. It's doing so much for the side and making it very hard for Wings to fight around.
Yeah, but I really want to give credit to Byan and Ice because
Yes.
their chain stuns have been really good. Sure, we've seen some missed Nyx stuns, but when they're in these big fights, they're landing the key spells at the right timing. The Fishers are really godly, and they're trying their very hardest to stay in this one. Of course, on the brink of being put into a loser bracket here.
But no, Wings definitely still have a chance to hold on, especially with like the Axe pick on the Nyx Assassin. I mean, if there's going to be something that's annoying to try and push high ground against, it's a Nyx upgrade from the Axe.
Oh, and Invoker. Yeah, those two heroes are quite irritating.
The high ground defense is
And
certainly going to be good for Wings.
Not just high ground defense, but Nyx can also be more aggressive with a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
If you get a good impale off, and then you blink in, burrow, and then use your spiked, it's a good chain stun. Really, really amazing with the ES and Nyx. So we'll see if he can land those. The worrisome part, though, is that Doombringer is getting really big. He's actually overtaking the Timbersaw quite a bit in farm.
Oh, does he go for a Shivas or an AC for the side as well?
It looks like a Shivas for sure.
Okay.
Or maybe he goes AC, yeah. Because they have Shivas coming in.
Shivas, yeah.
Shivas coming in on Timber. And that's going to be the timing, I think, when they have all the auras and they're going to get nice farm going on the Peel and Gyrocopter.
I mean, they do still have this Aegis, of course, so they can maybe try and do something with it more than just getting that tier 2.
Well, they're just drawing on the map, telling us what to do right now. Mystery is showing. We need to push out the side lanes. That's what DC want to do.
I guess it's the smart move, and the move that you've got to do, especially against a Lycan and Invoker lineup, because there's always that potential for them to do an incredibly quick side lane push.
I mean, they had Forge Spirits on one lane and Wolves on the other, so they had to go there and address this split pushing. But still, they want to go for tier 2 towers for sure. Having this Aegis is a pretty big tool.
Someone is certainly going to need to go back for that bottom lane. That's for sure.
They might just... yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna... They have Travels, okay. They have Travels on the PL. Then he's fine.
Resolution. There's a bit about mana there with the MP, but of course with the amount of stats that he's built up in the Skadi, he doesn't really care too much.
Trying to assassinate the dog with that Sunstrike. Mercy. Right now, Wings are just playing more careful because they know if they lose one big team fight right now, that could be game. You definitely don't want to lose a big team fight outside your base. Then it's over.
Very, very good position that Wings have been forced into, but...
He's buying up. The Satanic is coming out for Gyrocopter. He's not going to hold on for buyback.
I mean, I guess, yeah, with the way that they're pushed in all the lanes, they've still got a tier 2 mid. They know that they can afford to try and go for these plays because they can close the game up.
I also don't see him getting bursted at
Yeah.
all, so I think it's a reasonable thing to go for a Satanic here, making him even tankier. And then they can high ground siege really, really well. So that's the thing. They need someone to hit the tower. And if they go too close to Weehaw when he loses Aegis, that could be really bad. The chain stun, I mean, we've seen PL burst very quickly.
And here we have DC preparing their siege onto the high ground. But already, as we can see, the Nyx Assassin just burrowed on the sidelines, causing a bit
They
of
think
issues
better
with
of
mana
it.
burn. Yeah, they're just bossing across, making sure that all lanes are pressured in before they go fully in for some action.
Yeah, they also have very low mana on Resolution. Not sure that that impacts so much, but he barely even had mana for Black Cannon and ulti. And that's pretty bad for you. And ultimately, I don't think they're too stressed, I suppose, to back up. But they do have a pretty nice power peak right now. Maybe they're waiting for PL's next item. 4,000 gold on him.
What's Innocence's next time going to be? He's actually stockpiling quite a bit on this Delta. He's got 2.4k at the moment saved up. Well, what do you think he's contemplating?
I wonder. Maybe even a Lotus Orb against Lion and Doom.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Could go for 4-staff if he just wants to protect someone right now. It's hard to itemize staff when you get to this point. Normally you don't get that rich. But I don't think Aghanim is worth it in this game. There's too much pure damage from the Timber.
Maybe at this moment in time as well, just teams, or at least DC, waiting for some more of these big items. The fact that Move's closing in on the Shiva's Guard. There's a lot of money on PL. 4.8k and a free slot now.
Yeah, and they just seem like they want to wait for the Assault Cuirass to complete. Assault Cuirass, Shivas, get that, be the 5-man push with that, and DC are going to be great.
And the thing is as well, with the way this game's going, it's very hard for Wings to do anything about that. You know, if DC decide to hold back and not look for the fights themselves,
It is.
Wings can't really just go out onto the DC's half of the map and look to pick the fights.
Yeah, it's not like they have a Lifestealer Nyx or something like that that can threaten more, because right now they just have split push with Wolves and Forge Spirits. Trying to farm some top here is Invoker, or maybe even looking aggressively for kills.
I mean, talking about Blink, he himself, back 5.7k on the Invoker. I mean, what is needed from this man? Does he need to pick up the Sheeps, or is this a Refreshers game?
I think Octarine or Refresher is probably the build. I like Refresher in the Desperate game like this, because you can surprise with the amount of damage. A double Meteor during the Chainstorm from Nyx or ES, I can see them winning a fight that way, even bursting down the Gyrocopter before Satanic maybe. And that's the kind of stuff they need. If you just go for Hex, I don't see how that's going to win a fight. Octarine could also be great, but yeah, I would personally like the Refresher.
DC desperately, they are trying to force the lanes back out, Wings, but DC are keeping very good control of every single lane.
The pushes right now as well. Resolution starting to hit the towers.
Just want to see what they do in response.
Well, they do have the Nyx. The mana burn is going to be really strong against the hero with Skadi as well. Increasing his int is going to make him take more damage from that.
And I guess this is a good thing as well about the Nyx. If you look at the DC's lineup, they don't really have a hero that can jump past the tier 1 to do anything about the Nyx Assassin. He's going to be allowed to get away with this every single time.
Yes, definitely. It's hard to just initiate on the Nyx overall. When he's burrowed, even if you know where he is, he just doesn't take much damage at all. 40% damage reduction is a big thing. But I still think they should be more disciplined here, DC, and not go in. So I like that they're backing. If from their perspective, they need the Assault Cuirass and Shivas. They definitely do.
I mean, even with that, do you feel that they can then just run at the base, or they themselves, do they have to kind of wait for Wings to come out and then try and push off the back of
when
Wings,
they have it,
not having a full 5-man alive?
When they have it, they can do.
Okay, they've managed to catch Bian out. They're going to try and bring down this man, and they will. They got very close to do it. The Shadow Wave comes out in time.
God.
He's still going to tick out. So they'll get the kill onto Bian. Sacks are low on mana, though, after the rebuttal there from the side of Wings. But that is 60 seconds without the Nyx Assassin, and quite a key component in the defense. Oh, with the Echo Slam, though. Jumped into Resolution. Resolution's getting slid to the left.
Oh,
now
Satanic.
he turns around with the Satanic, punching into Shadow. Blink with the ice off the sidelines, but they're chasing down Shadow. And Thunderblade coming down with the Diffusal Blade from Weeha. Lycan getting brought low. The Shadow
Ria's creating
brave in
so much
time.
space. His team is just pushing here.
I mean, that is the case. You can see the fortification comes out, but it's too late for the melee racks. DC find the space needed. So, I mean, just like that, throwing everything on the Nyx Assassin work, because you kill the Nyx Assassin and suddenly you can just afford to have one hero, the PL, look to force back the rest of the side of Wings, and then you're just taking the racks and they can't do anything to stop it.
I don't think they expected at first that he doesn't have buyback. That was kind of surprising, because he's had the Aghanims for a while. He could definitely have had buyback. In that case, you need to back off, but they just saw that, oh, no buyback immediately? Okay, we'll keep going then. And just like that, you get the racks. Beautiful combo, though, by Wings. They almost brought down the Gyrocopter, and that's the second time this game that he just gets away with so little HP. Resolution, so hard to kill. And if it wasn't for this, Skadi and Satanic build, he would have died there.
I mean, maybe these picks are going to be big for Wings. The fact that you've now got the MKB done on Lycan, or Shadow, and it is the Octarine for Blink on his Invoker. But in return, DC, they just picked up a heart on Weeha. Moo has the Shiva's Guard done ready for the next push, and Stax has got a full AC. So
I think the first thing you said might even have been the biggest part of it, because we until this point has not been that tanky at all, and just adding on Heart, he did have a Reaver in that last push, but Heart is such a big upgrade from the Reaver itself. He's going to be a very hard man to kill as well.
And Roshan, I mean, Roshan in 10 seconds, that is the big, you know, if DC get away with getting the Rosh,
Oh, they pinged them out.
and Wings, they're going to walk straight into this one. DC, how can they kick this one off? Wings hanging around, hiding in the pit at the moment. Down the ultimate loop there, and then jump in from eyesight. Because how much of resolution Sunstrike as well. They're looking to burst the gyro low. They're getting that to half.
Doomed the Nyx.
Doom's being dropped onto the Nyx assassin as he sits there in the burrow. Isn't going to be able to throw anything out in return. They're looking for the lockdown, but Misery, he's got taken down. Innocence will be taken down in return. Those we moving in, doing a hell of a lot on this Invoker. Jumps forward, looking to chase down Blink, but Blink with the Ghost Walk gets himself away. 2 for 1. DC maintaining control around the Roche pit.
2 for 1, and it ends up just being the same thing as always for DC. It's Misery leading away, dying, baiting the enemy to chase him, and then his team just punishing the enemy really hard. I love the Doom onto the Nyx there. I think that was a great choice. They really need to shut him down. His AoE disable is too strong.
Oh, look at this top lane as well. Weehaw, he is just solo killing people at the moment. I mean, the question is, can Wings actually punish this one? Shadow and Blink, they're looking to take him down here. Can they actually kill this man? Weehaw just continuing to fight. Man fighting against the Lycan. Now he realizes he's got to get himself out. Blink forward from Blink. He's looking to finish off the PL. If they can take down Weehaw here, there's going to be a huge defense, but Weehaw, one more touch.
Oh, he has the W.
No, he's fine.
And
He's
gonna
fine.
blink.
He is gone. He is out of there. And with the illusions working onto Blink, there's no chance that Blink can blink again.
And the Heart kicks in as well. He starts to regen. Sunstrike lands, but Heart already regen him enough.
Yeah,
He's gonna live.
I mean, that's got to be pretty soldier. I mean, if they had killed PL there.
That was a solid blind Sunstrike, by the way. But sadly, this regen rate. Yeah, if they killed PL, that would have been massive. They would have gotten so much more gold from it.
31 to 16, and with the way that Roche fight went, it's certainly still feeling like DC's game. But Wings, they are holding on. They brought it to a 49-minute match at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And DC now, they're going to ask them how much more can you hold on as they're going down for the bottom lane as well.
Let's see how heavy DC want to go in, and I don't think there's any reason for
They
them
have
to hold off this
Aegis
time.
on Timbersaw in this fight as well. They were looking for who can carry this Aegis. You know, Resolution doesn't want it.
Man.
And the Timbersaw ended up being the one taking it, so he can be ultra aggressive.
And Wings, they do have all the ults back. You know, Echo Slam is back.
Yeah.
And Ice Ice, as you said earlier, you know, he has been getting really nice positioning.
If DC mess up their positioning, if they hug a little bit too much, then Echo Slam could definitely punish him.
Bian being a little bit safer with the positioning on the burrow. He's behind the racks themselves now.
We talked about the Dazzle a while ago about what he would buy, and it was the 4-staff in the end, by the way. Good item for saving anyone who gets caught by the Lion. But if they get doomed, though, he can't really save them. Force them back doesn't really matter. They still don't contribute to the fight.
I mean, the money just continuing to rack up for Blink. I mean, he's pretty much farming every lane, it feels, on this Invoker.
He's the new support, position 5 and 6 and 2. Spy everything.
DC. Yeah,
Is it the refresher? He got it. All right.
Refresher, Octarine, Aghanim's. That's go time.
If they can...
This is time to cast some bloody spells.
15 seconds cooldown on the Meteor right now. That's the big combo that they need to pull off.
Oh, here with the leading onto Resolution. They can kill this man. The Echo Slam as well. Jara falling low, gets slid to the right. He'll get the chance for the BKB off. Now trying to stop with the Satanic, keeping himself alive. They can't quite finish him off now. Resolution looks to get away with that. Only just, but that, again, they need these kills. The Sunstrike is not...
Wow.
Won't
so
get him.
Close. And there's a regen rune on bottom lane. Actually, he gets past the cheese, and he's going to be fine.
Man.
Fast regen service provided by Misery.
Because this time round, no Echo Slam, no ultimate on the Lycan.
And no refresher. That's the big thing as well.
Oh boy, this could be the opening for DC to close this one up.
DC having all their ultis, they're going in.
Yeah, Saxon puts the BKB, moves into the
He's
Doom, onto
stuck.
the Assassin again,
can't
trying
actually
to
move
control
now.
on the back line. Shallow-Grave onto himself, Finishes going for the Archdale play, will it pay off? Blink falling low, he's going to go down the Doom. The finger onto
he can't
Beyond.
move.
There'll be a buyback from Invoker. They're doing their best here to try and hold Wings, but they've lost 2 permanently. The tier 3 falls. DC moving onto the mid lane racks. Wings looking very much at the end of their tether here. What can they do?
There's really not much. They don't have the combination anymore. It's just the Shaker and the Invoker against all 5 of DC. No, it looks very much like DC have done it, but
It's after the combo. Tornado AMP, tapping blast as well. Saxon and Resolution will be forced away. Blink doing his best to hold them back away from the base. Weeha continues to front line. They've got the Yule set up. Shadow with the ult back available will try and run in. Moo's actually blinked in onto this one. Moo gets himself forced to the right. Nice fish onto Resolution. They'll jump in if they got the control to bring down Resolution. Falling low. Can they kill him? No! Resolution will not die. Turns around, kills the side
this
of
has
Wings.
to be the hardest to kill gyro I've seen in a long time.
GG, what a performance, and look at that, they love it. I believe we're ending 9-1 team Resolution that game. But again, it feels like a match where it was just the team as a whole, DC.
Oh, definitely. DC, they look really well organized. I love to see them tested here. And Wings versus DC is such a great matchup in the sense that Wings have played a lot of, internal Chinese games. DC very much NA games. And it's interesting to see these teams really testing the waters.
Absolutely. And as people said, coming into this one, people were like, yeah, DC, they've got good win rates, but maybe they've not really been tested. But you put them up against a side like Wings that a lot of people was expecting to be one of the stronger kind of Chinese sides coming into this tournament.
Yeah.
And they come out with performances like that, Digital Cash. You've got to be feeling very optimistic of how they can do in the tournament as a whole.
Yeah, and I really love what they were doing. That was well organized, and massive congrats to DC as they advanced to the winner brackets.
Absolutely. They're going to be in that very comfortable position, best of threes, and that having kind of that safety blanket. But, of course,
Wings
the side
going
of
into a best of one. That's a dangerous best of one team, though.
I was going to say, you don't want to be caught in that best of one against Wings.
Yeah.
You do not want to be caught up against that, of course.
That could be anything.
Woo, it certainly could. But, well, we'll see what's going to happen with that. And that is it for match, but don't go anywhere, because we're going to go to the panel to see what they have to say about DC and Wings' performances. DC takes the final series of today 2-0.
Thank you very much, OD Pixel and Wagger, for the final commentary of the day. And yes, we are back at the panel. One man on the panel is particularly pleased because he has a 100% record on predictions.
Hey.
You're unbearable sometimes.
I love playing the arrogant dick. This role was made for me, guys. Oh, man.
I think you've slotted into the Melk role really easily.
You know what happened? You know what happened, Paul? I had to endure the first year of Join Dodo where I was known as the crappy commentator.
Do you want to just talk
I
about
still am
Amy
in
Page?
some circles, but when I was known as the crappy commentator, all people told me was that I had a smug ass face and he was an arrogant dickhead, and they didn't even know anything about me. They just judged me by my smarmy looks. But now I get to play that character in panels. The community did this to me. You guys stereotype me into this. Don't blame me.
Okay, I want to give credit here, Alan, to DC rather than to CAP over here, because that's a great win for them. They've done the double over Wings as well.
I mean, Black and I were just going to go ahead and have a conversation about Animage. You guys can just do whatever over there. No, I think, obviously, DC and Navi, the stories of the day, in terms of Navi just coming out and showing amazing form. But DC, look at this group. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? Yeah.
It's flipped on its head
right.
completely.
This is pretty much the inverse of what most of us would have predicted going on. I think all of us had this group being relatively even, with maybe Wings having a pretty big edge going through.
We said at the very beginning of the day, the four teams are very closely matched in terms of where they are right now, in terms of rankings and what have you. We expected it to be competitive, but maybe not quite like this.
Absolutely love these. And this is just I really like the way that Cap is just, I know.
Cap's like, Naz is nerding out on stats again.
I literally could stand up in front of these plots and lecture about each of them, because they tell the. I've kind of been looking to something similar for the long time, and they tell the story of the game very nicely, right? About who is able to contribute at which points of the game, and I really like the visualization of the farm here, where you can just tell by the shapes how really at a certain point in the game, DC just takes off and Wings just plateaus.
Yep.
Every single time this thing comes up, I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe we can solve this mystery a little bit later. But Alan's half of the panel raises up a few inches. I don't know what it is. It's specifically when the stat shows up.
And this is a pretty heavy desk too,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
It's fairly late here, but I think everyone understands what you're talking about right now. Anyway, great game by DC, 2-0. They've gone through to the upper bracket where potentially they weren't expected to do that, so they'll progress at least into the next round on that score, either dropping down or carrying on again through the upper bracket. The danger of all of this is that there's some good news and some bad news if you're a Secret fan right now. The bad news is you're in the bottom bracket, right? The good news is you won't have to face Wings in that best of one. Because whoever has to play those guys, seriously, are just going to be going, oh, for God, look, why us?
Well, both these teams, right? We started this series by saying I think these are the two hardest teams to draft against in a tournament. And if your opponents from other groups, we won't know the group pairings until after the end of the day tomorrow. And you're talking about having 3 days to prepare to face either one of these, 2 days to prepare to face either one of these two teams. That's a very tough task.
Yeah, it is indeed. And we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of the final game of the night. We're going to start around about 24, 25 minutes in with the first sort of big Roshan fight.
I mean, Wings, they got caught out inside the Roshan pit, and they're like, nope, we're going for it. We're going to take this Roshan against the Timber Saw with all these heroes in the pit.
As well.
Yeah.
Like, the Knicks got picked off before that and just went for it. We were sitting here, we were like, why would they do that? And I mean, they just get completely crushed.
Even though the game lasts for another 20 minutes plus, I think even at this point, Wings were feeling kind of desperate, and that's why they're making this kind of play.
I mean, I spoke to Alan before that. We saw the Knicks assassin. He got picked off by a solo gyro in their jungle, and he just wouldn't carapace. Like, he just wouldn't press the button. Like,
and
he
was
was being
thing.
attacked for 4 seconds, and he just didn't do anything. I was like, was it on cooldown? Then I rewinded. It was not on cooldown. I don't know what he did. Or if he just wants to go to bed or something, but...
And no, we watched the replay a couple of times. I was like, oh, I'll go back to player perspective. He might not have been... he might not have his camera on his hero. No, he did. It was just...
He did.
It was super weird.
He was like... And he died.
Yeah, this was 36 minutes in. The game starting to get away from Wings. And again, Cap, it's almost some desperation on their part.
Yeah, I think that for the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're always going to feel like... that Digital Chaos are inevitably going to win this game, even if some fights look okay. Here's an initiation that looks amazing, that looks like the kind of initiation where Wings could actually turn the whole entire game, and then you realize, oh, with a 3-man Echo Slam, they can't even win the fight. That says everything you need to know about this game right here, because it's not just resolution. You also have Weehawk, who comes into play, and that's just natural when you lose the laning phase up against a team that has much better late game than you.
I mean, I just want to say, if you go even against a team with much better late game, with a pushing lineup, you essentially lose. Even if you trade 2 for 2, you're going to lose eventually. Timber Saw, PL, and Gyro, they're not going to lose late game against those heroes.
Oh, here comes the whole entire compilation of Resolution living with only 500 HP time and time again.
Yeah.
That was beautiful
This must have been very,
that.
very frustrating as well.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was planning to talk about this a little bit when we talked about MVP, because it's kind of a common denominator there that when you're playing these kinds of pushing and or pressure skirmishing lineups, you have to really watch out for teams that scale well 1 through 5, like DC's lineup in this game, where because of the way the gold bounties work and the game dynamics work, you lose a couple of fights, everybody on the opposing team is suddenly farmed.
Yeah. This is the last Roshan of the game, and another not good fight for our Wings friends, unfortunately.
I mean, Lion died first. They got first blood.
But you look at this, I really like in these fights, and the damage numbers just came up for this game, that 4 out of 5 DC heroes are between 10k and 18k in damage. They're just very... I love those graphs that we were looking at earlier. I'd love to see one for the hero damage throughout the game as well, because it felt like for DC in both of these games, really all 5 of their players were contributing to fights at all points in the game.
End game. Cap, I mean, what can you say here, right?
I mean, if Nyx Assassin being doomed up while Burrow doesn't say everything you need to know about this game, I feel like he's probably down there. He's listening to some Tool. He's like, I'm trapped in a cage of my own making.
I'm not ever coming back from
he
here.
He can't get out. He's just like, what can I do?
Yeah.
I literally can't get out of Burrow.
As we wrap up on this game, I do want your MVP, by the way. It can be from either team. We'll talk about that as well. Alan, have you got any particular standout?
I'm torn between Misery just because I like the picks, I like the leadership, but I think I'll go with the cop-out answer and just say Resolution. I like how solid he is for where he's coming from and for his play style. He's just going to do something good in every game on every hero.
Yeah. Has been very solid across the whole day as well. It's not just been this one particular game. Cap, have you got any differences to that?
I
Or
think it was a team win, Paul.
a team win. We're doing
shut
MVP right now, though.
I mean, I'll give it to Misery. I'll give it to Misery. I think his drafting.
You prefer to see Misery?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think his
Black?
drafting was good. His play was
You have the
excellent.
casting vote.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Resolution simply because of the transition he made from the mid roll to the carry roll, which is pretty much flawless. So, like, you must be a really, really amazing player to pull that off.
Okay, by the way, spoiler alert, like when you ask Black for MVP, he's going to give it to the carry player?
No, I realised that. Yeah, no, I thought I'd let
He
you
really
two-
right-clicked those creeps.
Did you see the flag cannon in the base fight, man? It was like hitting those towers.
He really right-clicked those buildings.
He
I mean, we are talking about the guy that uses drum charges to farm here.
and there it is. Finally, it has come out at last. Yeah, Black said to me in the break, he was like, I'm not really getting much flame. And I was like, well, do you want some? We can dish some out. If you want us to start throwing in some old McDonald, jokes about farming and stuff like that. And hey, did you know the supports in this game?
I mean, yeah.
There actually are supports in this game, Black, right? It's incredible, right?
I mean, if I don't zone out, then I know, yeah. So sometimes, just dig your own world. You kill some creeps, get some money,
okay.
some buildings.
See, the reason you're not getting very much flame, Black, and I'll just tell you right now, it's because we'll only have farming jokes to work with because that's the only thing you're known for.
Oh, yeah, that's true, though. No, that is true, though.
Oh, the burns. Right, so we're gonna wrap up today. We're gonna talk about Groups A and Group B, and we're also gonna get some tweets in from the community as well. But before we get that, we do have an interview with our winning player from DC, Sir Action Slacks. Take it away.
Hey guys, this is Sir Action Slacks with the one, the only Moo. Moo, you won your first match at a LAN today. It's a historic day for Mr. Moo. How you feeling, buddy?
I feel great, man. It feels good to win, when you're here. It doesn't feel good to lose. Then you're just sad for the rest of the event. The whole 2 weeks, you're just depressed.
Well, you got nothing to be depressed about, man. You already went out. You defeated Team Wings, which is one of the team favorites to win the entire thing. But you did go lose against Na'Vi. How hard is it to play the same team twice in one day? Is that difficult? And what went wrong in that Na'Vi game?
I think it's good to play them twice because when you're from NA, obviously there's only 3 teams here, and then the rest of the teams are all from different regions, a lot from Europe too. So we don't have much experience versus these European teams. So the more we get, I think the better it will become to play against them. So.
It certainly seems that way, of course. All right. Well, you have a lot of history, Moo. I mean, you used to be #1 solo MMR ranked on NA. You used to be on Team Archon, but you've never made it this far in the competitive scene. What's different about Team DC than all those other experiences?
More experienced players and then more committed players as well. This is the first team that when we lose a match, we don't get angry at each other. We learn from it. We watch the replay immediately. We just keep going, So every game I feel like I learn a lot and I get better, with every single time.
That sounds perfect. I mean, that's what it takes for a team to really achieve victory. So cool. All right, really important question here. You're one of the only guys here at this event that has facial hair. And I want to know, is that your secret? Is it like a timber saw reactive armor? Talk to me about that beautiful hair. What's it for?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I didn't have any. And I had hair in front of my face. And now I'm just a man, I've won my first match on LAN. It just as soon as I won, I was like.
So it is a timber saw reactive armor. With every victory, your hair becomes more beautiful.
Yeah, when I land finally, it's gonna be just sitting there on the stage, just stroking it.
I can't wait for that Gandalf to come out. That's gonna be sick, man. All right, last question for you. In our last interview, we had Misery. He did a little call out to Team Secret, did a little beef. It was pretty cool. So I'm wondering, I know you don't have a lot of beef with people, but is there anybody out there that you want to call out? Any teams that need to watch out for Moo and his crew?
Yeah, I mean. It's just such nice weather here, Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that the me? Oh, we got the May. Good job, dude. All right.
Did I do it?
You did it. Weather's real nice. All right, analyst desk, we're passing it back to you. Thanks a lot, Moo. Hello.
I
You know what, Paul? You know what that answer was?
yeah.
That was some real Archon shit right there. You could tell Moo was like, it's just nice to win, guys. I don't know what that's like.
That was like one of your predictions sometimes in the early days when you did panels. It was like, well, I think this team will probably win, but if the other team win, well, then they win. Yeah, that was like one of your early predictions.
What?
Thank you very
All
much, Suraction Slacks, and congrats to Moo. He moves on. We're also going to move on. Let's talk about Group A and wrap up Group A today. Let's take a look at the bracket itself and show you exactly how it panned out. Of course, the matches were on our other streams as well. OG winning the upper half of the bracket and advancing through to the top match in Group A, but they were stymied by Newbie, who were on a bit of a roll. 4-0 here, 16-0 in the qualifiers, 20-0 in the Manila Major so far, including the qualifiers. Complexity coming unstuck against both Newbie and Empire in the lower bracket, and they will advance to the lower bracket in 4th place. The final game of the day was a bit of a barn burner, actually. Empire taking a game off OG early, and then OG coming storming back into the game and winning the series 2-1. So OG and Newbie advance to the upper bracket, Empire and Complexity to the lower. Let's take a look at Group B, which we've covered here on the main panel, and all of our commentary team as well on the main one. Can we look at Group B? I wonder if we can get Group B as well. There we go. And as you've just seen the final game of the group. Digital Chaos winning 2-0 against Wings Gaming. Highly fancied Wings Gaming after beating them 2-1 earlier on in the day. Navi going through with a 4-0 record after defeating Secret in Digital Chaos, and Team Secret, who went out first in Group B. They will go to the lower bracket alongside Wings, whilst Digital Chaos and Navi advance to the upper bracket of the main event. That's Groups A and B done. Tomorrow we'll have Groups C and D. We'll cover Group C here on the main panel as well. Looking forward to that. There is your stream details for tomorrow. We'll start at 10 a.m. local time. Don't ask me to convert that into others, because I'm hopeless when it comes to that, and you will then set an alarm clock which will get you up at completely the wrong time of day.
4 a.m. CET.
No, don't do it, Black. Don't go there. Don't do it. Actually, if we're going to rely on anyone, it probably would be Black, seeing as he has lived in this region before and he has converted time far better than I have in the past. So there we go. Plenty to come tomorrow, of course. Group C and D. We're really looking forward to that. We'll have the same setup again. Panel will be covering one particular group, which is Group C. We'll also cover Group D on the other streams as well. So all 4 matches that kick off at 10 will have individual streams. You won't want to miss any of them, and you don't need to. We're going to finish off this evening with some questions from the community. All day long, PGL have been collecting questions from the community. The first one comes in. I'm going to try and read that from here. That's Hava. What is the one thing you enjoy the most about being in a major TR? Who would like to take that one?
I will take that because I think the extended panel segments are actually really good for the talent. I think that Dota 2 is relatively we're kind of iffy on panel segments before, but I think we're getting a lot of experience because of the majors and TI, and I think we're just getting to know each other really well, and that creates this kind of synergy that makes just the whole entire thing feel like just a lot of fun. Every single time I'm on a panel, I'm just having fun with my friends. So that's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, I think Toby said to me earlier on, it's really cool being on the panel. It's a bit like there's 4 of us in a Skype chat and we're just talking crap about the game. And that's exactly what we're trying to create. So it's kind of good, really.
Do you know why Toby was so afraid of panel? It's because Blitz and I flame him so much that he's afraid that
Skype.
when he shows up on a panel, he's just going to get obliterated.
All right. What's your favorite moment?
What's
your favorite thing?
I think Cap alluded to it already. It's the people. It really we have a lot of fun. We flame each other, but people need to realize when they watch these segments, we really are all good friends off camera.
Yeah, and we're all playing stuff as well in the background. I think the werewolf's been quite good this week, hasn't it?
Gosh.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. Black.
I mean, I've spoken to you about it. I've spoken to you about it as well.
Yeah.
Just meeting all the friends that you've made in Dota or esports in general over all these years, and you will meet them at every single major NTI, and that's just the best thing about it.
Yeah, we're like a traveling circus. We just with the same people. We turn up at a different place every other month.
Pretty much
in a different city.
Yeah. Pretty much. Different country, different city.
It's the traveling Dota circus. Let's have one more, if we can. Do you think the game's meta is more balanced and fun in this major, which comes from, is that Caffeinated Savage? Okay, good fun name. I like that one. What do you think, Alan? Is it more balanced and more fun?
I think it's more fun because the meta at the end of 6.86 was still relatively wide open. The teams were still innovating even at the very end of the patch. We saw a lot of that in the last couple of events. And they went ahead and introduced a whole new patch with a lot of new dynamics. So we're going to learn a lot about different heroes and what different teams are capable of over the course of this tournament. I thought the previous metas in 6.84 and 8.5 were very, very balanced. But this is just it's so much fun because it's so open.
Yeah, there's a lot of heroes to be picked, isn't there, Black?
I mean, that's what I was gonna get at. I think it's balanced in a way that pretty much every hero is viable in the current meta game. Like you can.
Except for Sniper.
I mean, Sniper can work in the right lineup. We've whiffed it a couple of times.
He was trying to convince me about this earlier. He actually was genuinely trying to convince me of this earlier.
Okay, Sniper actually is a hero in the right lineup. He has a lot of counters, but in the right game, he's really good. Anyway, back to the point is, every hero can be viable.
Are we going to let him get away with that, really?
You have to.
Okay.
Because I say so.
Oh, he's
Anyway.
laying the law down now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, somebody has to.
Okay.
Getting back to the point, though, every hero is viable, which makes it kind of balanced, but I find it, in a way, imbalanced as well. There's so many last picks that can just completely mess up a team's composition, which is just, like, you can't account for everything. Like, we've just seen the PL last pick, it completely, like, it was just a complete outpick, or the Nyx Assassin before.
Yep.
Like, you don't think about it, and you lose.
Yep.
Like, you don't lose, but you make it super hard for the enemy
But
team.
it makes it fun for us to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cap?
What do I think?
What do you think?
I think we're being.
Think it's more balanced?
I
Is
think
it more
we're
fun?
being way too nauseatingly happy about all
Really?
this. That's
Okay.
what I think.
You want to go and take Ice Frog out the back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm ready to take him out. Let's go, Bruno. I think a lot of the reasons that this patch and the last patch have been. I do agree with Alan actually in the regard that they have. Neither one of the patches has ever been fully figured out. So in that regard, it is a lot of fun to figure out. That being said, Dota's cancerous, and eventually a patch will get figured out, and then we'll hate Dota again. So.
Well, on that happy note,
that's my negative side.
Let's close the show on
Lord,
that happy
man.
note. Brilliant. My thanks to Nahaz, to Black, and to Capitalist, and to all of our panelists today and our commentary team. And of course, our wonderful observers, who without we wouldn't be able to enjoy the game so much. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary today, and especially the production that has been absolutely fantastic. And it's only going to get better, I promise you. It's going to be great tomorrow, and there's some still special surprises to come at the main event. That's it from day one, though, of the Manila Major. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow for more at 10 a.m. local time.